language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You listen to Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and the industry. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First and foremost, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident detective. It's Oz.
I'm back.
He's back. Yes. Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up?
And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about, of course, the latest and greatest in comic book news, and we are going to give you a review of the Wailing Blade. I'm sorry, of Wailing Blade #1. I'm adding a random "the." I think that doesn't belong there. Wailing Blade #1. And of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. But before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who without him, this show wouldn't be possible. So thank you, Scott. We appreciate you, buddy. And we want to make sure that we tell you how it is that you can get down with Fantastic Forum if you have something to say. So, intern, take it away.
The intern's feeding the dog. So.
Oh, the intern's feeding the dog. Damn you, intern. Okay, maybe not damn you. That feels strong.
She's not supposed to be handling personal business unless it's washing my car.
Well, she basically, the dog, all of a sudden at showtime, the dog decided, I'm hungry. You've been trying to get this motherfucker to eat all afternoon. He's not doing it. And
there
then, sudden, like, at showtime, he wants food. Like, what the fuck?
Well, hey.
And the thing is, here's the thing. He jumps on me and stuff when he wants something. As soon as this camera comes on, he doesn't. He's camera shy. Like, I told him,
really?
I want him to come on the show because it's funny, like all the stuff. And he won't do it. As soon as I tell him, come on up here, like, he runs away. But anyway, the intern's back. I just turned on her mic.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
It's like, it's so easy for her. That's all she has to do once a week and decides to feed the dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So, listen to the intern. Join the party. You know you want to. It really is a party. What can I say? We're going to be talking about all types of different things today. Probably some stuff that you're interested in if you're watching this. So, let us know what you think, whether that be chat or jump on the show. So, gentlemen, I don't know. I know it's only been a week. It feels like it's been longer. I don't know why. Do you all know why it's felt like it's been longer?
Because it's 2020.
Yeah, you're right. That's all it is.
Some things feel too fast and some things feel too slow. Like, it's weird.
Right. Things that are happening too fast, the spread of the virus.
Yeah.
Things that are too slow, concession.
And Department of Truth. Like I thought that, like I was waiting for that. Now they're on. I just realized they're on issue 3.
They are in fact on issue 3. Yeah, making that move, man. They're not wasting any time over there. It's a good book,
and it's already your birthday too. That was quick.
Listen, I won't lie to you. I'm a little bummed about my birthday.
Well, wait till you see your present.
Oh, what's that mean? What is that?
It's a Mega Man little chibi blind bag thing. You don't know what you're inside.
Oh, well, no, that's awesome.
And you got 2 of them.
Oh, that's even more awesome.
I was supposed to see you last week and give them to you, and you never showed up. So now we're live unboxing right now. I'm opening
birthday unboxings. I love it.
Stay tuned for that. Hit like, subscribe. But, I'm gonna do it.
Dude, this year, my birthday. Like, let me tell you, I've been anticipating this particular, my birthday of 2020 since 2019, because I wanted to have a party last year. I didn't get to do it, and I think it's okay. Next year, I'll have a great party. It's going to be a good time. We'll have a lot of people, people I haven't seen in a while. I'm going to invite everybody.
I don't know if I believe this. I heard this last year, and here we are. It didn't happen.
Well, last year I wanted to do it and didn't do it. This year I was like, because here's the thing, I look forward to just getting together with my people for my birthday, just in general. You all know, you all have been to the parties, so it's like,
folks, you're getting a preview of Lawrence's party next year. This is what we're gonna hear.
Oh, how dare you! But last year I was like, oh, I should do it, and I didn't really put enough time and effort into planning it. And I was like, oh, you know what? It doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna slap together something. So this year, I was like, no, I'm definitely gonna do it this year because I hadn't done it in the last couple years. And man, when I tell you that, I thought I had come to terms with the idea that I wasn't gonna celebrate my birthday in a real way. Because I realized that in September. In September, I was just like, okay, it's just not gonna happen because we're not gonna be okay in November if we're screwed like this already in September 15th. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, okay, no big deal. But now that it's here, I'm like, man, it's and my birthday was on it's going to be on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it would have been great. I'm just like, oh, well, 2021, it's all good.
I mean, you could still have a party. You just have to limit how many people show up. So does the door guy count as one of the 11? Or is he, because he's outside technically?
Listen, I'm not. Look, what I know is this: is I'm very blessed. I'm blessed to have an amazing family that would like to come to a party to celebrate my birthday, and that I would want to be there. And I'm blessed to have numerous amazing friends. And even if I'm like, okay, well, I'm only going to keep it to my inner circle, to some of the closest people. It's still way too many people to be having in one place at one time, because it's just I wouldn't have a birthday party and not invite the Fantastic Forum, right? That's 3 people, which I know, Oz, you probably couldn't come, but it's still 2 people. Yeah. And it's it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, Mo, come to this birthday party, but leave Emily at home. I'm not going to tend to leave Emily at home. Or am I going to be like, oh, but come to the...
I got you.
Yeah. He's not going to tell you to do that.
No, I don't want him to do that. I want Emily there. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I want Liz there. I don't want Liz, I don't want Liz, and it's not even Liz and I are super close, but we're close enough.
It's so cute how he thinks they want to be there.
Yeah.
They gotta feed the dog.
You know what?
That's the wash my hair of 2020.
Listen, whatever. What I know is, if I had a party These fools will want to be there. They want to be there. They know they do.
Look,
And so,
That's the title of this episode, the Wash My Hair of 2020.
listen, and it's like, so I'm just saying, it's like, Jay is gonna, like, if I told Jay, hey man, just you, of course Jay's gonna respect that. But at the same time, it's like, I'm sure like Jay's brother Leslie, which is like my brother too, because I've known, like, I can't say I've known him as long as I've known Jay, but okay, maybe I met Leslie a year later, which still means that I met him. I've known him longer than my sister. So I'm just like,
and now with Joe, like, after last week's revelation, Joe is now a +2. You gotta click the link for that in the description. And Joe's down here.
all I'm saying is, so all of a sudden, with just the Fantastic Forum, we've taken the 2 people I've invited, and that's like now 5 people.
Yeah.
With me, that's 6. We haven't even talked about Nia yet.
Yeah.
That's 7, right?
Yep.
It's like, and I'm just saying, okay, like, we haven't talked about any grade school friends yet. We haven't talked about any high school friends yet. And I'm just like, look, this isn't even getting, like, no one from all games yet. It's like too many people to just be like.
Technically, Nia and Liz are tiny people and very, very thin. I think we can count them as one.
I think they're 2 separate people.
Look, I think everyone on this screen right here, is heavier than both of them combined.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
True.
Oh,
I'm definitely
sure.
I'm definitely heavier than a Liz and a Nia together. No question on that.
It depends on how much Guinness she steals from you, because that,
Look,
while it's in her system,
Liz do be stealing Guinness.
one of those like Japanese competitive eaters. Like,
yeah.
It's all the whole body and stomach. It just disappears.
It's funny. So needless to say, I'm disappointed, but I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'm just like, and then the other part of that is like, I'm not going to see my family for Thanksgiving either. So
you have mini Mega Man.
Yeah, no, that's a super highlight, honestly, and I think
Mega Man has been in your life for a long time. I think.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, I've known Mega Man longer than most people I know.
Well, like, let's just keep in mind that for my birthday, whatever my present is, it should pop out of a cake wearing nothing but a Mega Man on whatever those things you showed us are.
Okay.
I got you.
Just once, she's trying to figure out where she wants to put it.
It's gonna be a face hugger.
I was just gonna put my cupcake and give it to him.
I don't even know what to say about that.
What the condoms?
We got Heckzilla in chat. Says, let's get this fucking show started.
Mm-hmm.
Premium fucking content. LOL. Gonna get Oz a piece of shit popping out of a cake.
Wait, just the visual of a piece of shit with a Mega Man helmet on. I'm just like, oh my god. Here's the messed up part.
Isn't that one of the later games?
Say what?
Isn't that one of the later games? Just a piece of shit with a Mega Man helmet.
I think it's Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
I was about to say 9 also. Like, they fucking programmed glitches into that thing.
I was like, oh, I felt bad for thinking it, but I think it's the truth. So, but hey, it's okay. They all can't be winners.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think we should go ahead and do some news, huh? Y'all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's make it so.
Sorry, that's the wrong one.
Comic
We should have a like Kurt. Well, not like that, but like
What the hell? Is that a rodent?
What is that?
that's your laugh from last week.
Who was laughing? My laugh?
What?
Larry's laugh.
Why did I laugh like that?
I don't know,
Wow, I must have been really drunk because I don't remember that at all.
but I remember it stuck out to me, so I made a point. I'm like, I gotta use that somewhere, so I just.
That's hilarious.
So, this is just a tiny bit out of our purview, but Chappelle's show got removed from Netflix because Dave Chappelle asked them to.
Nice.
Man,
I love
He
that.
didn't get any money for streaming, for Chappelle show streaming. Like, he only got money to record. And so he's been like pissed off about that for a while. And he basically just went to Netflix and said, hey, I don't like this. And so they pulled it.
Yeah, he made a comment about it on Saturday Night Live a couple weeks back,
mm-hmm.
and I think that resonated because it got people thinking. You know, we all knew he wasn't getting money. You know, us older people, because we saw all that unfold. But the next generation of people, the ones that are more gung ho about shit, really talk about it. And yeah, it's, you know, he walked away from $55 million because, you know.
You said 55 million?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
Well, it would have been more because he would have been in on the streaming and residuals and all that too. So it was 55 to do that third season, and then he walked away, and walked away from all of that. And yeah, it's been a wild ride since. Yeah, he's right now he's the only person where he creates an environment where people can go to a comedy show and not get sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just rented out a cornfield in his little town. Now brings a ton of revenue. Everybody right off. He charters people in on a private plane to perform. Anybody that goes there has to get tested and quarantined. And then he's doing shows like every day because, you know, everybody's on the different levels of quarantine, so they can enjoy the show. And then the whole town has those masks with the C on it. Yeah, like he supplies them all with that shit. And yeah, he's making it happen, man. I like couldn't happen to a better person. And I give props to Netflix too for kind of just Netflix has balls, you know, and they do a bunch of shit, some shit I don't like, but you know, that's all individual productions too. But they've been making money off of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly.
He treats it like his YouTube. Like some of those comedy specials are like YouTube videos that he just puts only on Netflix, and they're good. It gets some play. So
yeah, I think that's what it boils down to. Is that he does business with Netflix, and you know, of course, that creates a relationship where he can be like, I felt, you know, I went to talk to them and told them like, hey, this makes me feel bad, and they removed it, but. A big part of that is, well, he's going to do comedy specials for us. Yeah. And that's going to make us a lot of money too. Look, which like, that's how you know why HBO Max isn't like, oh, we're going to take it off too.
Well, the thing about it is that Netflix could be like, hey, we took it off. Like, how about we make a new Chappelle show how you want it?
Hey.
A new sketch show, you know?
And he might be open to that because of this gesture.
He might not even have to get another 70 million, you know? Because he got
what? He's gonna do it for free?
Not for free, but he could be like, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask for more than what I got last time. Just double it up, and then you know we'll do it and give us the just handle the budget, you know?
I don't think that'll happen, but I feel where you're coming from.
Well, that's the thing. They have a relationship. And
they have a relationship.
Exactly. Ted Sarandos is one of those dudes that is really into the artistry of it and kind of not coddling to the people working on shit for Netflix, but he's amiable, you know? Yeah. That's part of the reason why we get a lot of shows that end in Netflix after they get canceled.
Right.
You know what? People want to see them. Let them come see you.
Right.
Instead of instead of me waiting for the Pushing Daisies comic book that never came out.
Was there supposed to be a Pushing Daisies comic?
Yeah, it was because the way it ended the series.
Mm-hmm.
It was
a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and so they were going to do that third season or whatever, or that next season, in comic book form on IDW. Shareholder here, they're laughing at me, but it never came out. So,
man, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all right.
I don't remember. Did we talk about Just Arnell weighing in on the whole Splash Mountain renovations?
I don't think we've talked about Splash Mountain renovations on this show, have we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, back when all the blacks were being killed, and everyone started trying to, pass off, like, trying to be anti-racist.
Yeah.
We talked about them. Basically, people were suggesting changing the theme of Splash Mountain from the what's that?
Song of the South.
Right, changing it from Song of the South to Princess of the South.
Right.
And so they're going ahead with that.
Right.
Just Harnell does the voice of Brer Rabbit for the ride. He's also the Animaniacs star.
Oh, okay.
And so he basically had this to say. He enjoyed working on it. It was like one of his first voice acting gigs. He doesn't really see why it's offensive, but at the same time, if it's going to upset people, he doesn't want to be a part of anything that's going to upset people and make people feel bad. Like, he's sorry to see it go because he loved it, but if people are upset, he doesn't want to be a part of it.
I mean, that's a fair attitude to take, and it's one of those things where, I mean, I'll give somebody props for being like, hey, I don't get it, but it seems like it's upsetting people, so maybe we should think twice about doing it. It would be nicer if people would like try to understand why, even if they don't end up understanding. But
this thing is written. I'm not even sure he knows what Song of the South is.
He's just like all he did was his Brer Rabbit lines. He hasn't seen the whole movie.
Well, he didn't do the movie, but he just did the log ride.
Oh, so, just the log ride.
Right.
Oh, well, damn it. So he doesn't even know what Song of the South is?
I mean, to be fair, 80% of the people on that ride don't know.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it not Song of the South.
No, that I'm not excusing that. I'm just saying him not knowing is like the people writing it don't know.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is the people writing it don't have any responsibility to know. It's like for him, he's like he was the character for the ride. So it's like you would think that he would be like, like just anything else, right? Like when Fassbender got the role of Magneto, he went and read some X-Men comics to be like, well, what's Magneto like?
That's debatable.
No, it's not debatable. He did it. That's called a fact. he did that.
It's an alternative fact. I see.
It's not alternative.
The performance says otherwise.
Oh, how dare you? What are you trying to say? Like you're acting like Fassbender didn't act like Magneto. They didn't write Magneto necessarily. Well, no, they wrote Magneto pretty decent in First Class at least.
Yeah.
But and that was when he was talking about that. Like he acted like Magneto in First Class.
I know. I just hate him because of his giant schlong.
Oh, well, listen, you should not think about that as much. But all I'm saying is, if he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be Brer Rabbit," you would thought that he would have been like, "Well, what's Brer Rabbit like? What has he been in?" And like, studied up on it just a little bit, not a lot of it.
Why would he?
Yeah, he's getting paid enough
to make sure that he portrays Brer Rabbit properly.
It's a freaking rabbit. Like, oh, hey, sorry.
That's what you get, Larry.
Did they find out? Did they think you have too many people in your house?
It's the Department of Truth.
I don't even know. I guess so. They're like
Your cat's dead.
It's symbolic. It's like the fall of Marvel. Like, oh.
Your cat's dead, but it's Boston, so he'll be back. He'll possess Selena. And Selena do acrobatics. I apologize. What's the next story?
I have two things to say about this.
The damn cat knocked it over. Look, I don't know if you can even see Selena.
Yeah, I got two things to say about the Splash Mountain. One of them is, am I the only one that hears Joe not sound right?
No, we hear it. Okay. You might have to pull your mic closer, Jay.
Oh yeah, he gets low.
All right.
Yes, man. Wow. Okay. Good.
Look, I had to fix the whole video with that.
Yeah. And then the second one is like, I was hoping that Splash Mountain would be changed. The theme would be changed to Deliverance.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Hexzilla in chat says, guys, I did the 7-day HBO Max. Have you guys seen Class Action Park?
Is that
more importantly, Hexzilla, did you watch Infinity Train
or Primal? I haven't watched Class Action Park, but I want to. That shit looks amazing.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a documentary series about a extreme theme park with a lot of liability issues.
Oh, I know that park.
Yeah, I've heard of that park.
Yeah, so it definitely looks interesting. I can see. I'm surprised people didn't gravitate to that like they did Tiger King, because it feels like it's on that level for people.
Didn't Johnny Knoxville do something kind of based on that park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that shit called?
I don't know. I just barely remember Knoxville in it.
Well, I was asking Joe.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm distracted because Hexzilla hasn't watched Infinity Train yet.
That's why he's distracted.
If I can make it out.
You should watch Infinity Train. Like, it is amazing. You will really not regret it. Like, it might even change your life.
And do Primal. Watch Primal.
I do believe that.
Watch Stargirl.
And Phantasmagorias. You got to watch Phantasmagorias.
Hey, one at a time. Once he finishes Infinity Train, then he could get to all your shows.
That's 7 days. You don't have 7 days for that. You can watch Phantasmagorias in one sitting to all 5 seasons.
Wait,
you can watch Infinity Train in one sitting.
No, you can't.
Listen, you can't watch either one of those in one sitting, probably.
You never even heard of Phantasmagorias, Larry.
You all I heard was multiple episodes.
It's all 2-minute shorts. 2-minute animated shorts.
Nah.
That are all Latin American based horror urban legends.
Oh, see, and it has Latino
Phantasmagoria on HBO Max.
You gotta space that out.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Oh, you do, Joe. And Primal, you gotta check out Primal. Primal is amazing.
And you gotta check out Onyx Equinox on Crunchyroll.
But it's on Crunchyroll on HBO Max, right?
No, unfortunately, because it's new. It's not on HBO Max yet. But I think it would appeal to you, Mo. Like, it's full of that the like Mayan lore.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
If they do it right.
Hexzilla in chat.
A lot of bad Mayan lore.
Look, I just barely saw My Neighbor Totoro. My Neighbor Totoro will be there forever.
Yeah.
It'll be everywhere forever. Like,
I think My Neighbor Totoro is on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, it's classic, but Infinity Train, man. Look,
I will say that I agree with Jay. You should watch Infinity Train.
You will thank me for it later.
Heck, you also gotta watch Perry Mason.
Is that good?
That shit's amazing.
Why is the new Perry Mason? Gotcha.
Well, the old Perry Mason was awesome too. I love that.
No, I know, but
it's great.
I was just trying to figure out. I thought we were talking about the old Perry Mason. I'm like, why is Joe trying to pretend like he'd never watched Perry Mason before? But we're talking about the new Perry. Yeah, exactly. I understand that now.
The new one's really good. It's really good. They even play with the whole Raymond Burr being gay thing. and it worked.
what?
Because Raymond Burr was gay.
Really?
Yeah, not in the character, but when Perry Mason did that flare in the courtroom, that was coming from his hand being a little.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, when you watch it after finding out he's gay and watching a lot of his mannerisms and stuff, it's like, man, that's what it's like. You grew up thinking Perry Mason and Raymond Burr was like smooth as fuck, but
Zilla says Perry
he's
Mason.
sassy. Yeah.
Wait. There's a new Perry Mason.
Yeah. Perry,
And
yeah.
it looks great. I haven't gotten around to it yet, and I've kind of been waiting to hear like good things about it.
You could be smooth and sassy, right?
Oh yeah, and gay.
Yeah.
I think he meant smooth, sassy, and straight.
Yeah, no.
You can, but it's difficult. Like you really got to put effort into it.
Like, let me put it this way: if you're smooth and sassy and you're straight, people think you're gay.
Yeah, but there used to be a point where if you weren't married in your 30s, people assumed you were gay.
Look, we're not 1,000 years in the future where you can be smooth, sassy, and straight yet.
Where you can be what?
Smooth, sassy, and straight yet. Like humanity hasn't evolved to that level yet.
He's saying you need them cyberpunk implants to
what about
raise your attributes and sassiness.
What about Prince?
Look, he might not have been gay, but he wasn't straight.
Okay.
He was pansexual, right? Like he didn't care if it felt good, right?
Well, I
don't know.
Or Jehovah's Witness. Which one?
Yeah, he was Jehovah's Witness.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's very straight. My bad.
Yeah, very
I
straight.
apologize to Prince and his magic underwear.
No, that's Mormon.
That's not
Mormon, yeah. Mormons are usually
Jehovah's Witnesses, no holidays.
Yeah. Or birthdays.
Do you still get to drink?
No.
Jehovah's are the ones that knock on your door, though, right?
Yeah.
But Mormons do that too.
Look, I don't want to divert it, but look, maybe if you join our Patreon, I'll have a funny story with a Jehovah's Witness once. And it was a rude awakening of moving to Long Beach. And yeah, look,
is that a hotbed of Jehovah's Witnesses?
Well, I lived. Join the Patreon. I don't want to divert. I don't want to go into another.
I just know at Comic-Con, walking around Comic-Con, they put out a Jehovah's Witness comic.
Yeah,
I see that out. That's yeah.
All you gotta say is Jehovah's Witness' whole book is a giant comic without pictures.
On the next Two Dicks on Two Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Two dicks.
That was a good episode we did, Oz, though. But you got to join the Patreon to listen to. But Two Dicks on Two Dick is getting wild.
Wait, are you guys doing that?
Yeah.
I got to get to the saga of why my boss hates me because it's. I think it's an amazing story.
Join the Patreon. Pay us fucking money, Larry. You'll hear it if you pay us fucking money.
Hey, listen, I will do that for Two Dicks on Two Dick. I need to go to the Patreon. I'll do that.
On the plus side, you'll get 25% off, technically, right? We'll give you a quarterback.
No, thanks. Yay. I will take that deal. No, so wait.
Comes out of your cut.
That's so wrong.
I thought it was implied, but you didn't seem like you got that. So I did
not get that. I did not I thought I was just getting a discount, but I didn't realize you were like robbing me of my own money, even though I'm giving you money. Like that's slow. I gotta get a good lawyer.
Hey, we're like the Biden administration.
So
back to Splash Mountain.
I thought we were on news. Why are we still on Splash Mountain?
Because
I thought that was news.
Yeah, it is news. Go, Larry. Go.
Wait, I got one more.
Go, Joe.
3 teenagers were accused of terrorism over a plot to blow up a building they made in Minecraft.
Jay. Listen, we entertained you for all of these random ass stories, right?
I like this.
Well, listen. I'm not saying we're not going to talk about it. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is this: what was the first story about?
Splash
the
Mountain.
first thing was Dave Chappelle.
Right. So we went to Dave Chappelle first, which
comics.
Okay.
We talk about comics.
We talk about comic books, not comedians.
Oh, for 15 years, I've been quoting George Carlin for no reason.
That's why.
I've been screaming at Comics on Comics for ripping off our ideas, and turns out they did.
So we went from Dave Chappelle to Splash Mountain, which and here's the thing. I'm not saying these aren't interesting topics, but now we're going to Minecraft terrorism, and I'm just like,
we used to be on a gaming network.
Yeah,
no, I look at it.
and Minecraft. Look, we
Also,
can
cover cartoons. So Jeff Parnell, the star of Animaniacs, commenting on a voice role he did.
Understand. By no means am I saying these stories should not be brought up. I'm saying spread them out. Let's do some comic book stuff in between these stories.
Minecraft is big on YouTube, so we can actually put in the tags now, and
Honestly,
maybe get monetized on this bullshit.
I'm a little bit upset we haven't discussed about Fortnite at all, because that's big on YouTube, right? It's got in it. It's got Thanos doing his little dance or however that nonsense goes.
Do any of you play Fortnite?
No.
I've played it before. I don't play it currently.
No, I'm not saying, yeah. I mean, if none of us are playing it, that's why we're not talking about it.
I get my niece to do it on content for our show.
Yeah, we need to get a. We're too old to play Fortnite. We need to get a child involved. That sounded wrong. I apologize.
It totally sounded wrong. But you can definitely get your niece to like sample the superhero content on Fortnite and let her tell us what she thinks.
I'll give her the money.
That sounded wrong too.
It did.
Yeah, Jay, money all the time for all crazy shit.
Jay, who's investigating the Minecraft terrorism?
Donald Trump's administration?
No, this is actually over in Russia.
It's a free speech issue, not a terrorism issue.
So basically, these kids have been involved in anti-government shit for a while, and they made a copy of the Federal Security Service building in Minecraft after, taking explosive classes and.
Oh wait. So they actually I thought they just built a building and wanted to blow it up, and I thought it was like when people get cops called on them because they hear gunfire and they were playing a game or something like that. You're saying they actually built a real life government building in Minecraft and planned out how to blow it up?
Right.
Well, not planned out. They just blew it up in Minecraft.
No, but they planned it out.
It was a blueprint. They were planning how to blow up the actual building.
Yeah,
that'll get you busted here too.
Well, here's the thing: it'll get you busted here because that's how the dudes that hijacked the planes in 9/11 did it. They used the flight simulator games, played online and trained, and then went to a flight school, learning how to fly shit like that.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a start. It's like when you see your neighbor kid killing a cat, and it's like, you know what, that guy might be Wayne Gacy, but I'll just leave him be. No, you got to kill that little motherfucker too, because he's gonna kill people next.
I don't think it's
Mayor Young. Apparently, this story is legit. Maybe next time you don't laugh immediately and let the man explain himself.
I still don't feel like it's legit.
I'm so disappointed.
it's like
well,
you don't get.
The problem is when you hear Russia, it's like, well, they incarcerated a group of women because their rock band name was Pussy Riot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even about Russia. It's just about if you did this in America.
Yeah.
If you decide to okay, you get the blueprints for a building and you build it in Minecraft and you're figuring out how to try to blow it up in using as accurate of a depiction of it as you can inside of Minecraft. I'm not saying that's not something that will get you something to watch. Yeah, you can watch those people all you want, but that's not illegal.
No, but you can still get incarcerated. But Larry, in America, you can still get incarcerated.
I mean, you can get put in jail for a lot of things that you probably shouldn't in America. But
no, with that one, you literally you don't get the Fifth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, or 14th Amendment. That's
why not?
It's Patriot Act shit. If they catch it is.
I don't think that. Look, you might be right, but that's not how it should be.
I might look at 15 years of doing this show, Larry. You find out I'm right, and what Joe said too. Like that's not the only thing they did. Joe, elaborate on what else they did.
So they were they're underage supporters of anarchist views. They took part in joint training by reading forbidden literature and watching videos on the manufacture of explosives. Well, they also have trained in terrorist activities in abandoned houses and on construction sites.
All I'm hearing is Guantanamo Bay.
I mean,
well,
The
there's
three of them were arrested after two of them posted leaflets around the Russian town of Kent, expressing support for Azat Mistakov.
maybe just spell it. It might take a while, but you can do it.
Well, Russian letters are like backwards.
Khov.
There you go.
but the K over there is like R, right?
I don't even know.
Or the backward N is like K.
Listen, it's all Krakoan. Well, like I was gonna say, it's all Krakoan to me, but actually, I can speak Krakoan,
Yeah.
or at least I can read it. I'm sorry, I can't speak Krakoan.
Look,
I'm not allowed to admit to knowing Russian.
but yeah, like everything Joe says, like we literally denied entry to a U.S. citizen because of what Joe said. Everything Joe said.
What do you mean denied? What entry?
This girl in like Virginia or whatever in Richmond, like left, trained with ISIS, had all that literature, and it wasn't forbidden here.
No. She got denied because she trained with ISIS, which is a group that we consider a terrorist group. Like that's
Right. And that's what they did in Russia, and then Minecraft.
I don't know what happened to you, Oz.
Oh, what I was trying to say is,
Oz, you're frozen out. What happened? Oh, there you are. You're back.
Joe
Maybe
said
not.
trained with a terrorist group.
yeah,
Joe didn't say train with a terrorist group. He said
a group to label terrorists.
What terrorist group did you say they trained with?
No, I didn't say they trained with the terrorist group. They carried out terrorist training.
Yeah, like he said they trained at construction sites is what he said.
Okay. Well,
I don't. No one knows.
he's on
Your-
auto.
Your internet, Oz, your internet's crapping out, buddy.
It turns out Oz is in Russia. He's in Minecraft in Russia. I actually like. Yeah. Exilla in chat says Tara is hitting Oz's internet.
Now listen, all I'm saying is this is the stuff that this person has done in Russia in America might get you watched, but none of it is illegal. And I'm not saying somebody from America wouldn't snatch you off the street and put you in some hidden prison. I'm not saying that, but that would be wrong. We would think of that as un-American. Obviously, in Russia, they're going to do that, and that's okay for them. And, that's Russia. I'm not here to tell people how they should and shouldn't be living, but in America, you shouldn't be doing that. Let me put it like that.
Wait, if you've got like explosives in your home, they don't arrest you for that anymore?
Wait, did you say these people had explosives in their home?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
But
so
how to make them?
well, but that's different. Like, see, this look, don't you're extrapolating what you're saying. Well, what they're going to do is, and it's like I'm not talking about what they're going to do. I'm not saying these people have no bad intentions. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, in America, you're not supposed to be accosted or imprisoned, detained, jailed until you do something illegal. Everything that these people have done in Russia by American standards, aren't illegal activities. You can look up as many pipe bomb recipes as you want in America.
No, you can't.
Sure, you can.
Says un-American is how the police do shit all the time.
True, 100%, and that's why we protest.
And
Listen,
get ready for that hate mail.
and that's look, and what I'm saying.
What do you
What
mean?
I'm saying is,
I don't see you protesting.
wait. When you say you don't see me protesting, like if you're saying, "Oh, I haven't been protesting in 2020," that might be true because there's been a pandemic.
I haven't seen you twerking in front of police cars.
Well, I don't twerk in front of anything.
No selfie.
But listen. I've been look. I went out into the streets before it was cool. Apparently, I'm the friggin' I'm the what is that? I don't even remember what those people are called. Right? The what? Beatnik protesters? What is it?
Oh,
what
yeah.
are they? Not Beatnik.
The 60s? You were out there in the 60s?
Not in the 60s. No, look. I'm just talking about like.
That's when we had beatnik.
Like, do you have bongos?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean beatnik. I meant what's the other thing?
Because I know you
don't do
Hipster.
drugs.
Apparently, I'm a hipster protester. That's what I meant to say. Because I was protesting before it was the in thing to do.
Dude, I think you will make a totally awesome. Shit. Lost the word that fast.
Well, if
Beatnik
the thing
or
is,
hipster. Oh yeah, I would be a good beatnik. You're right.
no, but then they would just think you're a Black Panther,
Which would be awesome.
but not.
That's
deep.
like, I mean,
Black
until I get
Panther's
killed
beatnik.
for nothing.
Yeah,
But
and
that could,
yeah,
No,
but that
it's
could-
not. No,
but that could happen to me. That could happen to me
not
anyway. So
Wakanda
who knows?
Forever. Different Black Panther. It's a different Black Panther, not Wakanda Forever. Anyway, next story.
No, I knew what we were talking about. But anyway, all I'm saying is these people haven't done anything wrong by American standards in regards to like the stuff they're doing, but they should be watched because it's like, hey, they look like they're planning something. And I'm not saying governments shouldn't be able to investigate people that seem as if they're trying to plan some stuff. You can investigate whoever you want as long as you respect their rights.
I guarantee they're being watched 24/7 in their cell now.
In Russia, you mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right.
Well, Russia.
In the
yeah,
U.S., we don't watch people in the cell. That's how Epstein. It's YouTube, so I can't finish that sentence. But you know, wink, wink.
that's how Epstein got paroled.
Paroled into the afterlife. Okay, can we do some comic book stories now? How do y'all feel about that?
I don't have any.
So,
damn it, Jay! This is why you go every second story. Every third story is you, Jay.
California guys are locked down again, right?
We're not locked down.
There's restrictions. Something's happening. You can't go outside.
We can go outside. We all they did
we're
was
a month away.
Down.
We're a month away. 30 days. 30 days because today's the 25th from Wonder Woman 1984. Now,
Yeah,
they're gonna release it.
I love how Oz said we're a month away from Wonder Woman when December 25th is also Christmas.
yeah, but nobody gives a shit about Jesus.
Oh, you sons of bitches! I hate you all.
We
for
care
saying
about
it.
real heroes.
Oh, stop it! How dare you?
Like,
we know Melania doesn't.
Yeah, but Melania, like, she's far from Wonder Woman. Like, she came from a far ass land and fell in love with a white man, but it wasn't like that.
I apologize, Oz. I should have just let you talk. I apologize.
Donald Trump is no Steve Trevor.
I'm just saying, she sucks. It's Christmas.
Lawrence, I'm just happy that you're offended, even though I'm the Catholic in this group.
What? I mean,
Oz is a bad Catholic. Like,
I was raised Catholic.
Yeah, but you're not
But
anymore.
you're not Catholic now.
I mean, okay. I mean, if you're saying like, yeah, I didn't get confirmed, sure, but I've been to just as many Catholic masses as you have in the last however many years.
I doubt that.
Well, yeah. Have you ever
I
been
doubt
to
that he's been
Catholic?
shut down.
I went to Catholic Bris.
You see,
Priscilla
I don't know
says
what
she's
he's.
never fought
Okay,
Cheetah
we're
Man.
getting off track. We're getting off track into like offensive territory. Point is, Wonder Woman is being released in both theaters and now streaming in HBO Max for free because it's not Disney. Ah, crap! I don't have the button there. Damn it! The one free. Hold on. Hold your horses. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. Yeah, HBO Max streaming for free. Haha, heck, you wasted your 7-day trial too early. Are you guys assuming you're allowed? Okay, let's forget lockdowns. Let's say December 25th comes around. You're allowed to go to the movies.
That ain't happening.
Let
me finish.
playing pretend here. This is the comic book of life where we pretend that stuff can happen. Do you watch it in the theaters or do you stream it?
I go to a theater.
Not me, buddy. I would go to a drive-in again to watch Wonder Woman, but I'm not going into a theater on December 25th. Like, my dude, like in California, all of Southern California is in the highest, like, terrible tier. So theaters aren't going to be open in a month, but let's say they were.
Yeah,
you should not go.
We're assuming that they are. We're assuming
that
you
should not go because it's going to be COVID central.
Yeah,
Look,
but it's a theater and a movie.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means I want to go to a movie theater and watch a movie.
No, I'm with you, Jay, but understand. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be like New Mutants, where it's like, wow, you're a stupid fool for dying or catching COVID for seeing that movie. But Wonder Woman 1984 does not look like it's going to be as good as the last Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, it's not going to be.
Right. So why would you do that?
I love going to movies. I love going to theater.
I like going to movies too, but wait.
You don't love it.
We about strong independent woman.
Damn, Oz is Max Hedron.
He's a space invader.
Oz, your internet's crapping out. I'm sorry, buddy.
We
Look.
hurricanes.
He said something about hurricanes. I don't. Look.
He's drinking Hurricane. That's what it is.
Oh, damn!
He
Oz,
turned into his bandwidth too.
Oz, look. Drunk Oz internet is drunk. Go home, drunk Oz internet.
Earthquake, man.
Oh, the bed is right there.
Oh, he said something about Ben and Jerry's. I don't even know what.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, here's the thing about Wonder Woman. I'm happy, like he said, it's Disney. You're not paying extra. You're getting it. And I look, for HBO Max paid for itself with that. I'm in. Because I would have bought it. I bought the other Wonder Woman to watch it. Now I don't have to. I probably will anyway, but that's my choice after seeing it because they gave me the movie in there. And that's kind of what I would this is how you do a new streaming service in 2020.
Well, I'll say this, and this is definitely going to get me. Oh boy, I'm sure. So get it ready. Get it. Oh, good. Get it ready. Here's what I'll say. Good, awesome. Bring them on. What I will say is this: is Wonder Woman 1984. If I had to pay extra for it, I would think about it. Not because I don't feel like if it was the first Wonder Woman movie, I wouldn't think about it because that Wonder Woman movie looked spectacular from beginning to from the jump. The first trailer, it's like, wow, that Wonder Woman movie is going to be spectacular. This joint doesn't look as good, and it doesn't look as good because the higher ups at Warner Brothers got involved because they're like, oh well, this is a hit. Well, you need us now to make sure that it stays a hit. And it's like, no one needs you. You know, like we all know, Warner Brothers always acts like they're doing comic books a favor by making movies about them. So now that Wonder Woman was already an unadulterated hit on its own, instead of just like leaving it be, they get involved, and now we have like Cheetah that's probably not going to be Cheetah for like 75% of the movie, and then she'll be Cheetah for the last like quarter of the movie, and it's going to be probably semi-ridiculous because it doesn't look right.
Look,
and that's so listen, so this movie is already going to be subpar to the last one, which that happens with sequels, right?
Marvel doesn't do that either, though.
In which way? You're going to tell me that Winter Soldier is not a better movie than Captain America: First Avenger?
No. I'm talking about characters that are just so watered down that they're just a shadow of their source material.
Name the name.
Hellstrom.
Hellstrom?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Hellstrom?
Because it's a Marvel property.
You're going to compare a Marvel TV show to a DC movie?
That's a fair comparison. Like anything on
no, it's not.
Yeah, anything on DC movie should be better than a Marvel TV show.
Of course, but you're basically saying you're comparing Hellstrom to a DC movie and saying, well, it's not as good as Hellstrom.
No, well, we didn't pay extra for Hellstrom either.
But okay, but the point I'm making is this: is the Wonder Woman sequel, because of Warner Brothers, probably their interference, looks like it's not going to be as good as the original Wonder Woman movie. So for me, as a consumer, I wouldn't even, like, if they were like, I'm going to charge you extra to watch that, I'm going to be like, I don't know if I'm going to pay extra.
Well, let's talk about what Disney did charge you for.
What? No. Listen, let me finish my thought, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Fun when you finish your thought.
What I'm saying is this: is as opposed to now, there's the rumor that they're going to release Black Widow on Disney Plus, and they're going to do it Disney Plus Premiere. Black Widow, by no means, is the strongest MCU movie that's going to come out. However, if they're like, we're going to release that on Disney Plus Premiere, which the rumor is they're going to do that, they're going to release or talk about it in December for an April release, I wouldn't even hesitate to pay extra money for that. Because I know, as far as quality, that movie is going to be something where when I pay my extra money for it, despite paying for the service already, I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to be satisfied. I'm going to come away from it and feel good about that person. As opposed to Wonder Woman, where I'm probably going to be like, I don't know. Like, should I have spent extra money? So when you say, oh, well, they're doing it like they're supposed to, I think there's a part of them that understands, like, we really don't know if we should be charging these people extra money for this. I think it makes sense from a marketing perspective. Marvel is like, we're going to charge you extra money for Black Widow because we know we can do that. DC knows they can't do that.
Oh.
That's my 2 cents. What do you say, Mo?
Here, I think that your 2 cents is worth exactly that, just 2 cents.
Yeah, that's why I said 2 cents.
Yeah, it's not worth anything. Yeah, because first of all, like Black Widow, like who gives a fuck of Black Widow? It don't even have McHale in it. Like, fuck that movie.
Listen, a lot of people care about that movie. Like not only do we want to see it, but there's like a majority of the fan base felt like it was a movie that should have happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, if your criticism is it should have happened sooner, I agree with you. But if your criticism is, well, no one cares about it now because it's too late, I would disagree.
They could have made something great earlier. The way they went about it and given it after, the product itself isn't going to be great. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that Black Widow movie and Wonder Woman movie will be equal in quality.
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah, it doesn't have McHale in it.
Listen. I mean, like, why is that a downside for you? Like, why do you feel like that'll make it a not as good of a movie as this Wonder Woman movie.
Because that's the characters I want to see. When you see those Soviet Avenger type characters, I want to see Mikhail, Ursa Major. I want to see. And
no, I get that. Like, but what I'm saying to you is
a watered down version of that. And it's not like she's dead. So they could just give you a wild adventure that it doesn't matter because they don't have to. They could do more if people like it, which probably people will because people don't know shit. And so you
don't think it's going to be a good movie?
I think it'll be all right. But I also I think it's going to be good.
Okay.
But I also think Wonder Woman's going to be good. I don't have.
Let me ask you this question. What do you feel like? Do you have more confidence in Black Widow being a good movie than you do Wonder Woman being a good movie?
The YouTube on camera answer is about equal, but I honestly look the team working behind Wonder Woman is a solid team, but like you said, the Warner thing. But we saw that same shit happen with Deadpool 2, and people like that. That turned out to be good too. So I think the second Wonder Woman movie is gonna be good. As it fits better, I think I probably enjoy Wonder Woman 2 better than I would the Black Widow movie.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Listen. I like what I see. Even the shitty Cheetah is like nobody gives a fuck about Cheetah. Like they gave you a Cheetah.
Well, she's the main villain of the whole movie, so
that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
I mean, you feel like somebody else might be.
Yeah, might end up being, Maxwell Lord, who is also mentioned in the trailer.
Yeah,
I get he's mentioned in the trailer as well, really, but
it really with what I think is going to happen in this movie, and I won't reveal it out loud because I could be so accurate that it would become a spoiler, even though it hasn't come out.
No, I mean, look,
I think Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman's greatest foe in this movie is going to be her own heart.
Oh, son of a...
Kegzilla in chat says should have happened 10 years ago, and now the movie can be placed 10 years ago in the Marvel movie timeline.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that it should have happened earlier, but I think that's a far different kind of argument than it's not going to be good because sometimes there are movies that happen and you're like, well, dude, it's too late. Like you should have done that all the way back then. Now it doesn't make any sense. I don't feel like Black Widow fits into that category 100%. It would have been better 10 years ago, but it's still going to be good now, I think. And I
think then 10 years ago they could have had a chance of getting Doug Liman to direct it. And that would have made
but I guess
Doug Liman's the dude that did the Bourne Identity.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that would have been really cool.
Yeah, but now they can't.
Identity.
I mean, listen. I'm just saying all the arguments you're like. Here's the thing, and this all I'm going by is the quality of the movies that we've seen up until this point from both of these studios. It's like the majority of DC movies have been questionable in quality.
He also did Jumper.
He did what?
Jumper.
I liked Jumper.
That was okay.
Yeah, you did.
It's a good Nightcrawler movie. I don't know if it's a good movie in general.
It's not a good movie.
It's definitely questionable. No question on that. But it's like Pulitzer films. It's not a good Nightcrawler movie either.
The thing, Kristen Stewart is good in it.
Which is true.
Does she actually act in it?
I feel like that's how you understand the quality of the film that you're watching.
But she was like
Kristen Stewart is a standout star of that film.
Yeah.
That's not saying a lot.
Yeah, hey, well, that's what I'm saying.
She's the twist in the end, and she would be the next Jumper if they did it. But it didn't.
I forgot she was even in that movie. The only person I remember from that movie is Anakin.
Jumper would be an amazing Black Mirror episode.
It's the thing about I was a Kristen Stewart fan back then because she was in
from the Twilight. I get it.
No, that was before Twilight.
Was it?
She,
Is it?
yeah, that was before Twilight. She was a kid. She was like 15.
It's tough to remember anything pre-Twilight.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she was.
Even my Comic-Con experiences, like that's the furthest I go back is Twilight.
Yeah, I was like, that's because you never parked across the street and pay a guy at the body shop $10 to hold your car.
That is, has not happened.
I paid a lot of people $10 to hold various items of mine.
Look, Oz, you'll never beat Joe. Don't even try it.
No. All these comments are me trying to come close to a Joe as a compliment.
Oh, geez,
it's like we'll have a segment for you to do your sexy story time. We'll call it "Ew," early evening work.
and people should know. I mean, Joe is a genuine American hero, so I'm not gonna try to compare myself to him.
I call him G.I. Joe. When he used to call me back in the day, in the early days of Fantastic Four, first thing I say is like, "Yo, Joe." Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah.
So
that should be
all in all, HBO Max subscribers get Wonder Woman. Disney Plus subscribers pay for Mulan.
Did you pay for Mulan, Mara?
No,
he got it for free.
No one paid the contract. No one paid for Mulan.
I'm gonna watch contract.
I'm gonna watch Mulan for free next month because why am I paying for Mulan?
I heard it's not good.
No, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that it's terrible. I'm sure it'll be fine for me to watch for free on Disney Plus with my subscription next month. If I had paid for it, I probably would be like, oh, I should not have done this. I don't feel like if that happens with Black Widow and it goes premiere, I'll be buying it. And I don't feel like I'll have any issue in regards to saying like, oh man, I shouldn't have paid for this. Now,
how much are you going to pay for Black Widow?
The same thing I should pay for Mulan. Mulan,
$30?
Yeah, sure.
Oh man,
dang.
I need to work where you're working to make that money.
You don't feel like that's a fair price?
I didn't feel it was a fair price for Mulan. I wouldn't pay that for
I'm not asking you about Mulan. I'm asking you about Black Widow.
Black Widow. No. If I wouldn't pay that for Wonder Woman, I wouldn't pay that for Black Widow.
But if you let's say that HBO Max said they would do $30 for Wonder Woman, you would pay that, right?
Nope. No.
That's too much money.
Not to stream it at home.
Why not?
It's too much. It doesn't feel right.
Okay.
We've had this conversation before. I am not going to pay for Wonder Woman 1984 at $15. I'm thinking about it. Beyond that, if you tell me 20, then it's no. If it's in the movie theater, I understand that at the end of the day, I would pay more to watch it at the movie theater with my wife and to drink and all that. But in the movie theater, it's an experience. It's different than watching it in my own home, streaming it out on my shitty internet.
See, I feel like it's a convenience. And that's the thing where it's like, don't get me wrong. I agree that it's an experience in the movie theater, and that's what I would prefer to pay. But what I'm saying is, like, the alternative is me not seeing the movie at all.
But see, okay, and here's the thing, because you say it's a convenience.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to a bar and I'll pay $10 for an old fashioned. Where if we're talking about convenience, I can go to the liquor store for $20 have a bottle of whiskey and just get down all night.
A bottle of whiskey is not an old fashioned.
Yeah, I can make my old fashioned. Old fashioned is bitters, whiskeys, and sugar.
No,
done.
You're saying that.
My point is, convenience should be cheaper than the theater.
No. See, you're looking at it the wrong way because you can say that because you have the expertise to make an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what's in an old fashioned. One, don't have the skill to make a good old fashioned. Two, and don't want to go to the store to buy all the ingredients. Three.
Well, not only that, learning the skill, that's the fourth factor. like putting the work to learn.
Yeah, to make a good old fashioned. Right. So you've already done that pre this conversation. So for you, it's different. I get it. Like, I get why you would feel that way from an analogy perspective. But like, say, for someone like myself, even, I know it's in an old fashioned already. But I don't know that I have the skill to make an old fashioned. I would have to look at probably 15 to 20 minutes of YouTube videos just to understand the right combination to make the old fashioned, even though I already know the ingredients.
Give me 3 minutes, I'll teach you.
No, well, yeah, you can do that because you have this. That you went to school. Like you went to a class to learn how to do it already, so you can teach it to me quickly because you know how to do it, and you know that I'm a quick study. And it'll be different if that was what we're talking about. But what we're talking about is it's not even for me, especially like someone like myself. And keep in mind, my situation is different. I live in California. Movie theaters probably aren't going to open. Even if they were open, I'm not going to go because we're in a pandemic and things are bad here.
But by the way, these conversations, we have to have them assuming theaters are going to be open, because obviously if they're not, that's not something you can control. But we're assuming they're going to be open.
But what I'm saying is, even if they're open, I'm not going to go.
I'll go.
Or at least, see, there it is. Jay will go, and Jay will be like, "Well, why would I pay $30 to watch Black Widow at home when I can mess around and go buy my ticket?" Or even here's the thing. Jay is a good dude. Jay would be like, "Hey man, come with me to the movie theater. I'll buy your ticket." So Jay will spend as much money to watch it at home to get me to go with him so we can have that movie theater experience. Now,
yeah, but hold on, because Jay at one point in his life said, "Hey, this battleship might get shot down if we ever go to war, but I'm still gonna hang out here. This is my home for the next couple of years." This target of our enemies around the world, I'm gonna live here.
Look,
if the Carver go ahead, Mo.
Joe's a brave man.
Right.
He stared death in the eyes. He's willing to do it again. His balls hit another dude's balls, and he's cool. Look, if I did that, I'll take Corona too. Fuck it. Yeah.
Corona, not as bad as your balls slapping another man's balls.
Yeah, it was like he was LARPing. He was LARPing a sword fight there.
Either way, your life is completely changed after the fact.
There's nothing.
No matter which way you're talking.
There's side effects after it. Lingering side effects.
Look,
Both situations, you won't be able to breathe the same after.
Yeah.
When you can make eye contact with another naked man while you're hard, then
And here's the thing. What happened. Look, I don't want to go into it, but what messed me up about it the most, he didn't even like the guy. It wasn't like his friend. It wasn't he's like, fuck it, we're here. It's like that's the hard part for me. It's like, well, look, if me and Larry are hanging out, you know what? I love Larry like a brother. Yeah. Larry, let's do it. Yeah.
Hey, when there's one foxhole, everybody's your homie.
Yeah. Look. Well, I guess that's brothers in arms. Man, I'll never play that video game the same now. That was the bad Call of Duty back in the day, but now it's the good one. Brothers in arms.
So with that said, I would pay for Black Widow, and I'm not going to pay for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Jay,
but it's not like I said, I would have paid for the original Wonder Woman. If that was the same movie coming out, that movie looks fantastic, and I would want to see it, and I want to see it early. I would pay extra money on HBO Max to watch that movie. But 84, no.
I can't pay. I don't feel right paying really anything for something I'm streaming at home. On top of now, if I wasn't paying for HBO Max, then I would consider it. Then maybe my price would go up a little bit. But the fact that I already have that service.
Here's the other aspect of it, and maybe this is another part of it that I should include that might make you think different about it. In this day and age, we're a lot of us are ordering more food at home than we normally would.
Yeah.
Most of us would go out and eat. But because we can't do that, or some of us can't do that, we order in. And when we order in, I tip people, and I tip people probably more than I would if it was not a pandemic to for them coming out to deliver food to my house, because it's like, dude, it's a pandemic. Like, these guys are like, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it essential workers in the same way that we're talking about like healthcare professionals and grocery store people, but either way, they're
They're part of it.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is they're coming out to make sure that those of us that want to eat something that is not something that we cook ourselves, they're out here on the front line doing some stuff, going out when like risking themselves at least in some way. So because of the pandemic, you're giving them maybe, or at least I know I am giving them a little bit more extra than I would under normal circumstances before the pandemic. I think of this almost in the same way. Like, I know that Wonder Woman, if it got released in theaters, would be making a lot more money than it would be if they released it on streaming. Same thing with Black Widow. Like, Black Widow, without a doubt, is a $1 billion release.
No.
Captain Marvel made $1 billion. You don't think Black Widow?
Captain Marvel's not Black Widow. Black Widow 10 years ago, right after Civil War, I'd be there with you. Let's say 2019, because I think that's when it was originally supposed to come out, right? 2019.
You're being delusional right here, Oz. Like, what I'm telling you is this.
No.
You are. There's a like half. Like, let's put it like this: a quarter to half the people that watched Captain Marvel dislike Brie Larson. They like actively dislike her, and it still made $1 billion. You're telling me
I just like her.
Huh? What did you say?
Like her?
Because she has resting bitch face.
But
I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's valid or it makes sense. I'm not saying there's a reason to dislike Brie Larson. But what I'm saying is Brie Larson is not Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is a actress that is talented and liked among people, generally speaking. She's paid all her dues. Like, people want that movie to be successful. It's gonna make $1 billion in the same way that Captain Marvel would. And here's the sad fact of the matter: is like Scarlett Johansson was due this movie. It should have happened 10 years ago. So I feel like there's a whole contingent of people that would have been like, we're gonna go out just to make sure it's successful, because she should have gotten her own solo movie. Like, the first female-led Marvel movie should have been Black Widow. It shouldn't have been Captain Marvel. It should have been Black Widow. We're gonna make sure that Black Widow outperforms Captain Marvel.
I think the fact that Black Widow is dead is going to factor into that, because people know.
I think you're wrong. I think you're 100% wrong on that.
It affects the plot, because
no, it doesn't.
If anything, you know what? We know what it's gonna do. You know what it's gonna do? I'm looking at the camera, so you know I'm fucking serious. You know what it's gonna do? It's gonna change the way they make superhero movies now, because this is how we reviewed Hellboy last week. Hellboy has been out of the BPRD for a decade, and we're still reading a brand new story with Hellboy and the BPRD. It's that out of they could give you all these different stories that aren't synchronized with what the plot or the agenda is story-wise, but you can get their adventures, and you can still have your character that you like after they're dead.
Exactly. So all I'm saying is to you, Oz, is like Captain Marvel was like kind of marred before the movie even came out, and still made $1 billion. Black Widow is a fan favorite. Like, not only as a character, but the actress.
It's tough for me. It's tough for me because I'm one of those that I do not like Brie Larson. I watched that movie. I love Scarlett Johansson.
You're proving my point.
Both me and my wife did not want to see Captain Marvel. She didn't see it. She has no idea what the hell a Captain Marvel is.
What are you arguing for?
But she wants to see a Black Widow because she wants to support a lot of the actors.
Okay.
So
She should want to support McCain.
What's the point you're making?
I want Black Widow to be successful. I don't.
All I hear you is
but
saying, you're right, Lord.
No. I'm agreeing with you in sentiment. It's just I don't think that I don't think if it was just a theater release, I don't see this movie making that much. I wish.
You son of a bitch! You're like, all your facts are right, but I think that you're wrong because I want you to be wrong.
He should. I mean, here's my problem. Here's my problem. I think for the reasons that you stated, I think you're right, and I think the movie deserves to make $1 billion. I agree with you with that. I want it to make $1 billion, but I think it wouldn't if it was like let's assume no COVID.
Yeah.
No, that. Just Marvel releases, I don't think it would make that much. It should. For every reason that you stated, I completely agree with you. I just don't think that it would, because I don't think people care as much as they did for Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel ended up being that first female-led movie where Black Widow should have been. She should have been that first movie, but she's not. And on top of her not being the first female-led movie, it's also a how do you I don't know how to phrase it. It's a prequel. It gets squeezed in Marvel. Several other movies, but Captain Marvel has the advantage of being a character we haven't seen, where Black Widow, we know where she started, we know where she ends. Don't. No, we do, because this movie doesn't go where she started. This movie starts in the middle. It has
the Red Room is in the Black Widow movie.
In a world without a pandemic, I want this movie to make $1 billion. I just don't believe that it would.
I disagree. And we can agree to disagree.
No, and we're not disagreeing for every reason you stated. I actually completely agree with you. This movie should make $1 billion. I just don't think that it would. Assuming,
and that's where we disagree. I think that it would.
Stuff aside, like let's all that stuff aside, this normal year, I don't think it would make what Captain Marvel did. I want to be wrong about that. I honestly want to be wrong about that, because for the simple fact that the people in the Black Widow movie I like a lot more than the people in the Captain Marvel movie.
Exactly, and that's the larger point I'm making, though, is I feel like you said, or I won't say like you said, but what I'm saying is, in a non-pandemic environment, this movie would make $1 billion. That's how I feel. I know you feel different. That's how I feel. So in my mind, it's like, okay, if Disney is saying like, hey, we know this is going to make $1 billion, under normal circumstances, what we're asking you to do is to stay home. Like, stay home. You're going to watch it. You want to stream it. Give us 30, which is basically, at least in California, and I know that's not the case everywhere, but in California, that's the price of 2 tickets. In most households, I feel like it's going to be more than 2 people watching this joint. And that's the in the same way where I'm like, okay, I'm going to tip this delivery person a little bit extra because it's pandemic. I don't have an issue with paying the price of 2 tickets to watch Black Widow, because at the very, I know for me, I know 2 people are going to be watching that movie. There's going to be some places where only 1 person is going to be watching that movie, and there's going to be other places where there's going to be 4 people watching that movie or 5 people watching that movie. I feel like 2 tickets feels like a fair price because it's all going to even out. And I understand that, in some parts of the country, if you're in Middle America, you're like, well, we're not going to pay $15 for a ticket. I get it, Middle America. I get it. At the same time, in Middle America too, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 of you watching that movie.
I feel like
so, huh?
I feel like that was a shot at me.
No, it's not a shot at you at all. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the people, like families in Middle America. Now, the other part of that is in New York. There's probably going to be 3 people watching that movie too, and their ticket prices are probably like $16.
Yeah.
So they're actually saving money getting to watch that joint at home from their house. And I know some people might be like, well, it's not the movie experience. Yeah, it's not the movie experience, but at the movie, you're going to pay $15 a ticket, and you're going to pay for popcorn, drink, and all that stuff, and you're probably going to pay for parking. And it's like there's a whole.
I mean, that's an experience over streaming. It's like
the movie experience is an experience. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm speaking from my own experience here. In California, I know if I'm gonna mess around and go to the movies, I'm probably gonna have to pay for parking. I'm gonna pay for snacks. I'm gonna pay for the ticket, which is probably 2 tickets. It's gonna be way more than $30 for me to go to see this movie.
I know, but you're like, I mean, you keep talking about the $30. It's like, would you pay full ticket price to watch a concert on YouTube?
To watch YouTube?
To watch a concert on YouTube as opposed to going to it live? I'll answer before you say anything. The answer is no, because
a concert is a completely different experience than a movie, though, right?
I'm trying to tell you, like, I refer you to maybe there'll be a link in chat here. My review, Fraction of Forever's review of In Absentia Day. It was $75. And in fact, I got this shit right. It's too far to reach it. But hold on. Now I have to.
Lawrence, have you really been tipping more to your homies, your delivery people?
Well, no, I'm tipping more than I would previous to the pandemic in regards to.
The only people I tip more these days are my stripper and my masseuse.
No, dude.
That's because they both have to touch me inappropriately.
That means that your wife is lazy.
Damn.
No, she has a very low upper body strength and can't get into those. Hard to reach spots, you know.
Weak arms.
I paid $75 for this VIP ticket. It was Behemoth's In Absentia Day, $75. I got a long sleeve T-shirt, that little VIP badge, because every time they come in to LA, like I go see them with a meet and greet, and then and I saw the video. Now it was a YouTube video that only I could see, and they gave me a director's cut because they created an experience where you can actually like just click on the camera you wanted to see throughout the whole show, and then if you watch it on demand, you get what the director wanted you to see. So it was $75. That's more than Wonder Woman. And I did Lamb of God.
More than twice.
Yeah, I did Lamb of God. That was $30 as well. I was gonna wear the shirt today, but I was alerted that it was a misprint, so they're sending me another shirt. So I'm gonna have 2 shirts, and then I did Earthless, which was like $10, and I just paid $10 for the Black Dahlia Murders Yule 'Em All, their Christmas show that's gonna have like sketch comedy in it too, and yeah. So I've been actually going to concerts during the pandemic. So the concerts are all this to say that the concerts are a bad analogy here, because it's not stuff everybody.
I was not even listening.
Yeah. So
damn you, Oz!
Yeah.
Damn you for not listening to Moses.
I'll catch it in the rerun.
Oh, you son of a bitch! He look like a true Trump supporter. This fool messed around. He's like, forget these facts.
Well, he's actually like every listener a Fraction of Forever.
He's like, experience? What does it have to do with anything?
Yeah. I actually, like, as much as I miss live music, I do enjoy this that they're doing with the virtual concert.
It's better than nothing.
Look, Wonder Woman movie and Mulan for $30, Black Widow for $30. They're not going to come close to anything that Whack and Worldwide did, that Code Orange does on Twitch, that Matt Heafy from Trivium does on Twitch. The Behemoth concert, the Lamb of God concert, the Earthless concert, and Black Dahlia Murder concert. The Black Dahlia Murders Metal versus Racism series alone is worth the 250,000 people that died through COVID.
Whoa. Jeez, dude.
Maybe I missed it, but for this
now when you said metal versus racism, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, not metal with racism. Yeah.
Now, and maybe I missed it, but for this streaming stuff, are you paying what you would have paid to be there live?
Well, you did miss it. The Behemoth one was $75. I got a shirt. I got this little VIP badge. This is what you would get if you see like the. I don't have it here. In my Fraction of Forever or Heavy Metal Minute videos, you can see I have one in the back. The one that it's a meet and greet badge where you get to meet the band before they go on stage, and I paid $75 for that one. I paid $30 for the Lamb of God with a shirt, well, 2 shirts now, because you missed it, and then all the other ones have been $10, so it's less than what you would do live, but like the way that the Black Dahlia Murder describes it, the way that it happened for like the Code Orange Twitch channel is like you tip whatever you want. Yeah, and you get to see them just sound checking. They rented out the bar that they came up in Pennsylvania, and they just rent out the bar so that they could keep paying their rent, and they just do shows every Monday night on Twitch. From there, they isolate together as a whole band, and they'll do like one, like Reba Myers does one where she's just fucking with her guitars, and you just get to hear her write a song essentially for the next album. And
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now I feel like that's a different experience. Like I might pay something for that. Yeah. I don't know that I necessarily want to pay for a virtual concert the same way you do, Mo, but to each their own. I'm not mad at you for that because I get why you would do that.
Yeah.
But watching somebody that's an artist go through their process live, I might pay for that.
And now these guys have the money to pay for apparently anything, but if you, the listener, would like to get this Fraction of Forever that we've been talking about, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button because we're not charging extra for that. That is not a Patreon exclusive. That is not an OnlyFans coming soon. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the notification button, and you will get a Fraction of Forever episode. What are you doing, once a week?
I do it at a Fraction of Forever every now and then.
Good enough. You're getting this show once a week for sure.
Listen, I'm taking back control of the show, goddammit. So listen, whatever news stories you need to get in real quick, let's do that. I'm gonna be pushing you all. If there's anything else that you all need to talk about real quick, say it now. Comic related.
Are we still doing news?
Anthrax, the band Anthrax. Larry, don't roll your eyes at me, motherfucker. You don't sleep with me at night. You don't get to roll your eyes at me.
Listen, continue the story. I said nothing. Continue.
Anthrax has been dealing with comics. Scotty Ian wrote Lobo, Highway to Hell. They wrote a song, I Am the Law, about Judge Dredd. Now they're putting out a comic series, Among the Living, comic horror anthology based on the Among the Living album, which the cover is the non-human guy among the humans, the zombie shit. It's kind of like the Crypt Keeper. And they give you this album full of crazy horror stories. And now it's getting written by Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. Scotty and Grant Morrison is on it. But the fucked up shit, it should have been a Heavy Metal Minute because I'm pissed about it. It's on Z2 Comics. It's a boutique comic. It's a boutique comics thing. They did the Dio comic. The cheapest Dio comic you can get. Dio
comic?
Dio, the band Dio.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He does a lot of fantasy type metal, power metal, and the cheapest book is $100 on Z. Yeah,
like $100 comic book.
Yeah, and then the
cheap, how many pages?
No, it's like all of Dio's career, like in a hardcover.
How many comics? I mean, how many pages? What are you talking about? How many pages?
That makes a difference.
It's like the size of the Webster's Dictionary, like hardbound and everything.
How many pages, in your opinion, makes $100 a comic book worthwhile?
I'm gonna say somewhere
like 5 hours?
somewhere between 100 and 200, anywhere between there.
So you're willing to pay $100? You're willing to pay $1 a page for a comic book?
Yes, and well, depending on the artist too, because there's some artists that fuck them, but then there's some artists that you know what?
See, I don't believe you, because when Marvel Comics is like $8 or set like $8 or $7 for a comic book that's like an event book and it's like 55 pages, you're like, fuck that.
Yeah, but is Dio a Marvel comic?
No, but why is it?
We're talking apples and oranges here.
So a DC event book. So would you pay
God at this point?
Would you pay $8 for black metal? I mean, I'm sorry, for what's the new death metal? Would you pay $8 a book for death metal?
That's close. I mean, Capullo. Yeah.
What is that? But yes or no?
Probably.
Hey, let me.
I won't be happy about it. I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Look, we're not making the whole topic about it. That's the Dio thing. The Anthrax thing. They have a $30 comic, and that's just the regular comic. They're teasing the non-human character from the Among the Living album cover as like a squish ball, and it's actually drawn by Greg Nicotero of Walking Dead fame, and so it's actually redesigned and recreated from a prosthetic that he did, and it's like a squeeze ball, and I really want it, and I don't know which one I have to pay for.
So you get the comic and the squeeze ball?
Depending on which one you buy. I don't know which one I buy. And now I'm also the dude that's trying to buy the Anthrax whiskey that's $150 a bottle. So,
God.
Yeah.
Invite me over when that happens.
Look, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting the highest tier Anthrax comic and the whiskey bottle. Fuck it. I want that.
No. I'm not saying do all of that. I'm saying do one or the other.
That's the thing. Like, I gotta do one or the other, but I can't. I gotta do both. I gotta have the comic for sure because I do a comic book show and I try to infuse my heavy metal shit into comics. So that's the perfect way to do it. I gotta do it. It's tax deductible.
I'm like,
The whiskey, it's harder to do on my tax. I mean, maybe if I get Trump's tax guy,
you gotta get a better tax guy to get the whiskey.
Yeah. Anywho, but that's that. Like, Z2 Comics. Look, I might do a whole episode of the topic on that because they do a lot of good shit, but it's boutique and it's limited, and everything is like a collectible with it that it might not even be a collectible. Really, they just try to sell you on it ahead of time, and I don't like that.
I feel like $100 is a lot of money.
For Dio. That's Dio. That's not standard to everything.
That's true.
You get the anthology of Among the Living with all this talent for $30. That might be okay, but the perks and shit, like I kind of that's it. So that's the new, like, it doesn't look like that on the actual album cover. That that non-human guy in the middle that looks like Pennsylvania Dutch. He's that's redrawn by Greg Nicotero, and then you get the squeeze ball of that.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't sure Dio. I didn't realize Dio was still alive. Well, honestly, I thought he died like 2 years ago.
No, Dio's dead. He died in
2013. So he is okay. All right. So okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he's alive in my heart. Like I listen to Dio. I listen to Dio at least once a day.
Yeah. No. Dio's definitely a legend. Lawrence was saying, $8 for a death metal book. I paid $6 for this one.
No, and I'm not saying that that's how much it costs. I'm saying, would you pay that?
I paid $6. If there was an
extra, it turned out $6 is less than $8.
Look, I paid $6 for a one shot side story.
But I think $6 is still less than $8, though, right?
This isn't even Capullo and Snyder.
This isn't none of this is as interesting as a Joe sexy story. So let's move on to the next news story.
Does Joe have another sex story?
No, but let's get to
we should just actually do the review next.
Mo, you should read this book. This is definitely a Mo book.
That's the multiverse. Who laughs?
Death Metal Infinite Hour Extreme. It's a Lobo book.
Okay, yeah, I'm down. He's metal.
The story, I don't think you'll. It's a toss of a coin whether you'll enjoy the story.
Yeah,
but the visuals in it are amazing.
Like Lobo. Lobo is one of those dudes that like I want to get a Kickstarter to get Zach Wilde to cosplay as Lobo.
Who's Zach Wilde? Who's Zach Wilde?
Comic book
Review.
comic book
Like
review.
well, not like that, but like I literally went on a diatribe about Zach Wilde on my birthday, Larry, and you don't remember.
You talking about May?
I'm still waiting for our death metal show that I was promised.
That's Zach Wilde.
Who is that?
That's the guitarist, the creator of Black Label Society, guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. He was in Power and Glory, not the wrestling team, but the band.
Looks like a hippie.
You had me better with the wrestling team. I'm just like, I'm listen. I'm
Good
okay.
picture of him though. Like,
oh, listen,
he's
okay.
the creator of Odin Forest Coffee.
Listen, dude. I'm sure he's very talented and is definitely famous.
Look, he'll finger.
I just don't know who he is.
He'll finger a guitar in one solo more than he's ever fingered a woman. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like he's Lobo incarnate. Like he had a beef with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, and he made it a point for the 5 years in the middle of the Blessed Hell Ride before he goes into the solo. He goes, Fred Durst still sucks cock. Like that was his whole thing for 5 years.
Hexzilla in chat says, nice Power and Glory reference.
Yeah. That's what we do here.
Moses.
I like Fred Durst.
Hey, of course you do.
I'm a Limp Bizkit fan. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because you're not helping yourself at all.
That's not surprising. All right.
Mo, please talk to us about Wailing Blade.
We talk about Wailing. We talk about Power and Glory and the Blessed Hell Ride. Like it's fitting for the Wailing Blade. The Wailing Blade is a comic book. It's an independent comic book done by Comics Tribe, and it's actually a Mo Deal. Oz, you got Mo Deal music or no?
Jeez, you got you should. No.
Look, that's
I got a crap ton of Mickey though.
Mickey.
Yeah,
the
Mickey
Mickey laugh
and all that. I got a rim shot.
Mo, Oz is like, let me tell you all the things I don't have that aren't a Mo Deal music.
Honestly, I would have had the Mo Deal on this, but I really think we're going to copyright strike if we play that.
Nah, we won't.
Word.
Okay, I'll add it in. I'll have it next week. I apologize. I don't have a Mo Deal today.
No, it's okay.
Were you going to say that issue 1 is free?
Issue 1 is free. The link is at fantasticforum.live. You can get it. But yeah. Oh, here it is.
Is that the? Oh, good.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
More money, more money, more money, more money.
I forgot that you have all the clips that I had.
I do, but it's not labeled. It's labeled Mo Money, not Mo Deal. So I keep looking for Mo Deal.
What else says Mo other than Mo Money?
I mean, there's let's see, there's
I had a whole file.
There's a Mo file. There's this. I want all his penis.
But what is that labeled as?
That's Mo all his penis.
Oh, did you mistake that for the Mo Deal?
No,
Well,
but
sometimes his penis is a deal.
Well, for Mo, apparently.
there's also Mo Snap.
What is that?
I forget the snap. Oh, that's just yeah.
That's the sound I made into the mic when I got mad at something and I wanted to snap it out of existence.
I think there's also a cash register.
Yeah,
And then there's a chick having an orgasm.
So the Mo cash register, I can see how you'd be like, oh, that might be Mo money.
Yeah.
There's not
also,
though.
There's also Mo every time they announce a movie that based on something he likes.
He who?
Like when I like something and it gets turned into a movie, there's a sound effect for that.
So you say he,
the Mo.
You.
Yeah, me.
The Mo.
The Mo. Yeah. So it's like, for example,
you're referring to yourself as like the fourth person.
Right. For example, like
okay.
we didn't get to it in the news, but there's a Sweet Tooth TV series coming to Netflix and they released a trailer. So if I had said that story, you would have heard this. That's me crying because, you know, something I like got turned into a TV show.
I remember when I could do the good drugs.
So that's the sound effect we use when you like something?
No. Because I'm not gonna like the TV show. The TV show is gonna suck. So
he likes something.
Yeah. Something I like gets turned into something good. Something
so that's the dislike music.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
I don't remember if I ever got the cash register.
And there's also an alternate.
We really should get to Wailing Blade.
Yeah. I feel like Mo Money or Mo Deal was not hard to find, but
that's the other one.
The Mo Deal is that issue 1 you can download for free right now
at fantasticforum.live. But yeah, it's a book. I don't know who wrote it or anything. I didn't make notes of this. I've had a weird week.
Jay, put that back up on the screen, Jay.
Yeah, but it's a fantasy story set in a distant future after humanity has like advanced in science to the point where when everything crashes, it just gets primitive and medieval. And the story centers around a bunch of people trying to take down this head taker, this kind of executioner type of character that is used by the tyrant that runs the world now. And you get that. He's a stoic kind of man of few words, like a Conan type. And this is like kind of sword and sorcery, but sword and science. Yeah. And that's really it. I'm not going to go into an actual synopsis of it. Like, the shit's free. It's not like other books we review. It's free. Take it. It is. Yeah, sorry. It's a Mo Deal. I was going to play the Mo Deal again, but no,
I was like, what is that? I was so mad at Oz. I was like, Oz, why would you play that?
It was
but
Oz.
Mo, you played that.
It was Oz. But yeah, so look, I got this about 5 weeks ago. I'm surprised it's still free, and I'm thankful it is so that you can get it. So go ahead and get it. Read it. Let us know what you think in the comments. You might get a prize. You might not. I'll give you Larry's birthday present, the Mega Man.
Yeah. Look. Only give them one, Mo. I want the other one.
Oh, I have a whole box for you.
Oh. Yay. Give them as many as you can without, like, let me have two.
No, your birthday doesn't count this year. This year is the year of the snap.
We're talking about this book, right? Because Mo was completely wrong.
Go ahead, Oz. What is Mo wrong about?
First, well, the head taker is not the leader. The leader they actually refer to as the tyrant, which I guess is how they say dictator.
He didn't say that the head taker was the leader. He mentioned that the tyrant is there and works.
I wasn't paying attention.
Exactly.
But yeah, it is a futuristic post-apocalyptic, and those kind of stories for me personally 50-50 whether I'm going to enjoy them. Honestly, I spend a lot of time, and I had the same problem with like Horizon Zero Dawn and several other games where I look at the technology that survived and I try to figure out what it was before it was used the way it is. So I really want to know why this Wailing Blade makes this noise. And the Wailing Blade is like supposed to be an artifact of when technology was a thing.
Yeah.
And they just say, well, it screams, and obviously it makes this noise when the guy swings it, but nobody knows why. I really want to find out more about, like, I want to find out more about the world before it got to this point. And my biggest issue, and it's not a criticism, it's just something that I want to know, that it's something that like caught my attention, is when you read this book, at first they make it seem like this is in the future, in the year whatever XX, but then when you actually look at the art, you realize Earth.
Wait, Oz, you're kind of crap. Your internet's crapping out again. I'm sorry, Oz.
Oz is living in a post-apocalypse where science is different and something new for no reason.
You sound like you might be back, Oz. Try one more time. We heard you say you want to know why the blade, or why the, like, we heard you get to the point where you're like,
I want to know what the technology was before the fall. And this book confused me a little bit because it opens making me think that it's Earth in the future, but then as you look at the art, you realize it's not Earth; it's a different planet, which is fine. That's not a big deal.
Why is it a different planet?
And because at one point, 2 moons.
Oh, I didn't even see this.
That's not Earth.
Well, not only that, the map.
Yeah, well,
at the beginning too.
I did.
Well, see, and that's the thing. When I thought it was Earth, and I looked at that map, I thought that was Europe, and I was trying to figure out what countries specifically they were. But then when I saw the image with the 2 moons, I realized that's not Earth. So then at that point, all right, that doesn't matter. This is a whole new planet. Let's see what you got. And at that point, I really enjoyed the story because it's post-apocalyptic, but it's not Earth, so I don't have any frame of reference. It's a whole new world. Tell me, show me what you got. And the book 1, especially, it's not badly written. It's not. When I first saw the preview images, like just looking it up on Google, I thought, and we're showing the map right now, and that kind of looks like it could be futuristic Europe.
Yeah. No, I thought it was kind of Europe too, and I didn't realize that. Like when you say it, and you're like, "Oh, there was a second moon." I didn't see, like, I don't remember seeing that panel. But now that you say it, it's like, oh well, damn! Like you're right, it might be a different place altogether.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Wow.
You were basically, the point you were making was that because you realized it wasn't Earth, you were like, okay, well, I feel like I can give it like a little bit more. And
you guys are post the picture right now where you see it's either 2 moons or another planet with a moon on it. It's tough to tell, but obviously,
I mean, you're right. Like obviously those celestial bodies are huge in the sky.
Right.
That makes you feel like it's not Earth.
That takes away a lot of questions. Now I'm all in. This is completely like, I don't have to have any preconceived notions as to what's going on. Tell me your story. And the story itself, it is good. The head taker is the central figure in this book. And his blade is a big deal because of its technology background. Mm-hmm. The thing about this book is I didn't, like, a lot of things that happened, I didn't exactly expect to happen the way they did. Mm-hmm. For some reason, what ends up becoming, when I first, at the opening, I thought the head taker would be the main character. Mm-hmm. Because it opens with a narrative telling the head taker why he's going to be vilified, even though he's providing a service in a way. And then halfway through the book, we go to a tribe of raiders or thieves or whatever you want to call them, and for some reason in my head, I assume that the leader of that tribe in that section would become the head taker. Like for some reason, I thought that we were in a flashback all of a sudden. But then when that group collides with the head taker, it's a book that I didn't like. A lot of times I can see where it's going, and this book surprises me, and I enjoyed that.
Because you know Conan.
As far as the art, now I remember what I was going to say earlier, because art wise, and that's what I usually pay attention to a lot is art. When I first saw the images on Google, I thought, okay, it's a cartoonish, simplistic style. But then when I actually looked at the panels, they put a lot of effort into this art, because even though it kind of looks a little bit cartoonish, if you really pay attention, there's details. Like there's a lot of stuff in the background that did not have to be there to give you the same feel, but they took the time to put it there, and that takes a lot of work. So this book was originally part of the Kickstarter, and the people that did it, I think we put up earlier the artist and the writer of it. They obviously put a lot of effort into this. This is a labor of love that these people did, and it shows. I think this is a book that I would tell people definitely you should pick up if you like post-apocalyptic stuff. I heard it compared a lot to Battle Chasers in the art style, and that makes a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of that exaggerated, the head taker is really huge, compared to like regular people. Like it's very exaggerated, but it's not like over the top where it throws you off and you can't believe this world anymore.
I will say that I can understand the comparisons to Battle Chasers in regards to the character design for the head taker, because the head taker definitely has like that kind of feel to it. Unfortunately, I feel like that's where like the character design comparisons kind of come to an end, because while I can agree with you, like I feel like the art style is a nice art style, and there are other characters in it that look nice, generally speaking, but I do feel like they kind of like, I feel like the head taker, you can tell there was a lot of care taken to make sure that this character, which is the central character, was designed to a particular degree so that he could be the central figure. I feel like once you get outside of that orbit of that one person, you can see like the levels of design begin to like, I don't want to say degrade, but you can tell like there's not as the same level of care that was taken to make sure the head taker stands out and is like a character that like you can tell was like given a certain amount of attention paid to. Once you start getting to like the next level of characters, the next orbit, it's like, okay, there's not as much care taken for these characters. And then when you get to the orbit outside of them, it's like, okay, everybody's kind of generic. And that's a little unfortunate, just because, and it is a thing where it's one of these like kind of unfortunate things where it's like, if they didn't pay as much attention to the central character, it wouldn't stand out as much. But because they did, like, and it's kind of unfortunate where it's like you, like the head taker as the central character, you spend so much time making sure that character has like a certain amount of detail to them that when you get to like these characters that are shown on the screen now, which are like maybe like the secondary characters, because these are the characters that
honestly I think the one with the blue scarf, I think that's the main character.
Nah,
I mean, I would disagree with you. I feel like he's secondary because That's and if I'm not mistaken, I believe his name is Tycho. Oh yeah, it's right there, right? Tychon.
Yeah.
Tychon is definitely like the character where I'm like, okay, I believe Tychon is the next character that probably got the next most attention to detail, but he kind of looks generic, and it's a bit generic in comparison to the head taker, but it's still like, okay, it's not a bad character design. Like if the head taker didn't have so much or didn't seem as if they put so much into like making sure like, okay, we want to make sure that his look is distinctive and his blade has a particular kind of its own kind of characteristics to it, he might not seem as generic. But because they did do that, he does seem a little bit more generic. And when you talk about the people that are like his subordinates, they seem even more generic to me. So now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that like I dislike the book. It's just one of the It's one of the failings of it to me because
So
it's like,
I'm gonna make a prediction because I think we all just read the first book, right? They're on book 3 now,
Right.
but we all read the
oh,
first
I
one.
didn't even know that.
And the first book ends with I'm trying not to spoil too much. There's a showdown. There's a showdown between the head taker and this character Tychon. I am making the prediction without having read further. So if I'm spoiling anything, it's just because I'm so brilliant. I'm going to make the prediction that the head taker is slain and Tychon becomes the next wielder of the Wailing Blade and some kind of head taker himself.
But by the ending of the first issue, that's what makes you feel that?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Because to me, it felt like that. I honestly feel like Tychon is going to be the character that we're going to be following, and the head taker is just in issue 1. They're telling us they're showing us the power of this blade.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
And then I see Tychon as inheriting this blade, but not for at least a couple issues, not really understanding its power. Like the head taker was trained to wield this blade. Tychon just took it in battle.
So you feel like after issue 1, in the midst of issue 2, Tychon defeats the head taker, takes the blade, but he doesn't become that in the next head taker, right? Or you think he does?
Right. No, he doesn't become the next head taker. That wasn't his goal.
Wow.
But he becomes the next wielder of the Wailing Blade.
Yeah.
And we get a couple of issues of him learning its abilities because I feel like the head taker was trained to wield this blade. You know, there's been previous head takers who knew its powers and knew its abilities and how it affected people. That's what I got from the first issue. I could be completely wrong. I haven't read issue 2 and 3, which are out now for free.
Right.
So I could be completely wrong. But that is a credit to this book where obviously from what I'm getting is each one of us has a different opinion as to what's going on in the story, which means it's not predictable, which is great for a story, for an original story these days, because a lot of the stories we read, like we kind of know where they're going.
Absolutely.
And for us to have such differing opinions as to what is going to happen in issue 2,
right?
That says a lot for the writing of this book.
I would agree with you. What do you think, Jay?
For the most part, I think you guys are right. I'm not 100% sure where this is going.
You say you guys are right, but like we have completely different opinions on what's happening in this book. So you gotta specify which one of you guys.
That's the point of not knowing where it's going.
That's the point I'm trying to make. It's like, like I know I'm not sure where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it could go either way, is what you're saying. All right, I got you.
Right.
Look, does he need to have a threesome with you for you to see eye to eye?
I think that does have to happen.
It would be helpful.
Sorry, Amber.
So
You could be in it.
I don't know if I could look Joe in the eye on the other side of that. I don't.
So,
I don't.
You shouldn't. You should.
one of the things I wasn't 100% on board with was the art. I think Lawrence is right. Like, past the head taker, everyone does kind of look generic, and they kind of, even their like line work like isn't as like the head taker is like really super smooth and polished, and in the panels where like he's the main focus, everything is like slick and like looks really good. But when others are involved, it's like that kind of breaks down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And honestly, it kind of sucks that people are comparing the art to Battle Chasers, because that is gorgeous. And when you think about Battle Chasers and then read this, it's like, no, like, I don't like. The one thing I could say is like, and I can't think of Battle Chaser dude's name,
Joe
but
Yeah,
Joe
Mad.
Like the easy way to remember it is that Joe Mad makes Mo mad.
Right.
You're
Like,
right. It's true.
I could say that the head taker is almost a little reminiscent of War, where if you were like, hey, you know, we were looking at War and we thought, well, we kind of want to do our own take on that, but make the sword a lot simpler so that it's easy to draw multiple times. It's like, yeah, I see that. And like, as far as him, like if you're saying, yeah, he reminds me of Battle Chasers, well, no, that was Darksiders, but okay. Like, same guy. But as far as like the rest is concerned, it's like, nah, like it just doesn't hold up.
Right. And it's like I'm sorry, Joe, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say,
Go for it.
I was gonna say that it's like literally like if you think about Battle Chasers, chances are, even if you can't remember names, you can think of like 4 or 5 characters that are distinctly different from each other. As like, wow, like I remember Battle Chasers, and it was this person and this person and this person and that person. But in this book, all you have really is the head taker, and then outside of that, it's like everybody else. The only person that doesn't blend into one another, in my opinion, is the dude that's the head taker's like valet.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy kind of has like his own kind of distinctive kind of thing too, which makes sense in the sense that you're like, okay, well, if I'm gonna have like this distinctive like main character, the person that stands next to him for most of the book, I want to make sure has their own kind of vibe too, you know? And everybody else is kind of like almost blends into each other, and that's it's unfortunate in that sense. But the story is interesting, and I think that you hit the nail on the head on that, Oz and Jay, where you're like, we're not exactly sure where it's going to go next. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, you guys are looking at it all wrong.
Okay.
I haven't read the other issues. I'm going to buy them for sure because I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah. And it's the best. It's one of the best free books I've ever had. And we've been doing the show for 15 years. We've gotten a lot of free books. In fact,
this was a Kickstarter book too a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. But the colorist on this book is a person by the name of Jules Rivera.
Yes.
And
awesome.
We've hung out with her in the past at a comic convention. So I'm glad you guys remember. The colors in here are what really makes this art really pop, even with these like shortcomings in character design, color separations. But when you even look beyond that and look at just the setting sun and the colors they choose to put artistically, like into distinct to let you know that it's not Earth. You know, the setting sun on this looks great, and it's just the setting sun aside from everything else. But this is the head taker's journey. Like, there's a reason why he's the one that you can see all the work done in art, is because this is the guy you're going to see in issue 2. Like, again, Oz, like, his confusion is, I said it before, you've never read Conan. Like, Conan will do all the shit that you're like, you're not gonna root for this guy, but this is his story in this world where, you know what, he might not be doing the right thing for the right reasons, but he's doing it for him, and you're following him whether you like it or not.
Right.
And that's Conan, and this head taker is a Conan analog, whether the creators would like me to say it or not.
Yeah. No,
And
go
it's
ahead,
for
Mo.
their benefit because I love it. Like this gives me it's a way. I wish Marvel would have done Conan like this instead of bringing him into 2099. You want to modernize Conan? Do it like this.
2099.
Yeah, because Conan is in 2099 with Spider-Man and shit, and Avengers
Is it?
2099. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but
So
you want to modernize Conan? Do it like this. Marvel, hire these guys. You have them. You know, they shot the good load here. You can get the sloppy seconds with them working on your modernized Conan.
also, I should mention that there's two colorists. Like Jules is one of them, and then the other one is Chris
Sotomayor.
Oh, there you go, Sotomayor. There you go.
I think he's a Marvel guy too, right? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I think he did that one X-Men book where they got banned because of the anti-Semitism.
I can't say. I don't remember, but I believe it.
You don't remember the book, or you don't remember who colored it?
No, I remember the book. I don't remember who colored it. Yeah. But I will say that, I'm interested to read issue 2 because the book ends in a place where I'm like, I want to know what happens next. And, it's honestly just one of these things where it's like, I feel a big part of it is just in comparison, like, especially like with us having read like Hellboy last week. And it's like the comparison and contrast between that book and this book, just from a week-to-week basis, it's like, and this, like, I feel like the story is there. I think honestly, it's unfortunate because it's like it's just more about like the art chops and not so much like the art isn't bad by any means. It's just not as good, and like the layouts aren't as good.
I have a feeling you're gonna be okay with it if you read further on.
I hope so. I would like to. Not
that I'm not gonna say it's gonna get better, but I think because the focus is on the head taker, everything else, there's a reason why it is not at the forefront of the art. That's where they rush, but they want to make sure this guy looks good because you're seeing him on his journey. Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to mention, like, I don't normally read the post-word of comics. Like,
me neither.
Well, I do it randomly, like not often, and it's normally random, but I happen to be reading this one, and you could really like feel the love that they put into it. Like reading what he's saying, and I'll be honest, that made me feel like a little better about the book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so far, like, the art was my only real, like, the story was fine. Like, it's something I could get into, but the art was a little off. But then when I listened to like what he's saying about like how much he's been working on it and how much they've been refining and like all the shit they've been going through, and like how much love was put into it, like it actually did make me feel better about the book.
Yeah, art is for me personally, I will rip a book up and down for horrible art, and I enjoyed the art in this book. So I think other people should too.
The thing about it, like me, I come from a time of reading Vertigo and stylized art and stuff, and even reading a book that we couldn't get to this week. Subscribe, hit the bell, like, so we can finally get Department of Truth to you. That is a book with, by any standard, like, it's terrible art. Like, if you're gonna judge a book, but the story's so good that it actually becomes good art. It's stylized because you enjoy it. But if you don't enjoy it, this is bad art. Oz could tell you that. Yeah, that's how he deals with bad art. Joe, like, for example, Joe you didn't like iZombie's art, and it's like it's stylized because you enjoy the story.
For this book, honestly, I want to see the original pencil art before the inks, because I really think that we lost something between the pencil art and the inks.
And then the colors, I can see that.
Even though I enjoyed the final product, I really think that the original pencil art probably has more detail that we're not getting.
And I think, I mean, I do think you're right. I will say, I want to preface everything I'm about to say by saying I don't think that the art in this book is bad, like by any means. I think the design beyond the head taker and his valet or whatever is not as good is what the big sin is here. But what I will say is I think you are right, Oz, in the sense that and a big thing that makes you feel that way is that this book has flatters in it, which for those that don't know what a flatter is, like a flatter is a person that takes pencil art or like either pencil, like sketch art or inks, and like prepares it for a colorist to mess with digitally. So it's like this book has like people that mess with the art from sketch to the digital coloring, and that very well could be. And this is not a knock on flatters by any means. So like a flatter is an important part of the process, but what I'm saying is there is a difference between the art, because the way that I'm interpreting it is that there was sketch art and like art that was like, sketch and inked that someone had to manipulate between that process and the digital coloring process.
Joe, can you do me a favor and put the pencil art back? I was too busy throwing up to actually see what you put up.
Okay.
Is Oz actually throwing up?
Yeah.
Oh
no, I'm looking at something. I couldn't see what you're putting up because I don't have my glasses on anyway.
It's his penis.
I'll take a look. No, you're looking.
He's like, he had to get his glasses to look at his penis.
But I think you guys are putting up the original concept art for the head taker.
It's the actual design process, which
yeah,
I saw this as well, and I was like, yeah, like you could tell that there was a lot of care taken into this main character. And watch it, like looking at these sketches, it's like, oh yeah, like you can see the different elements that ended up in the original or in the final character design. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool because I love process. I know personally, I love seeing process stuff like this.
Now,
like, yeah.
When you brought up the flatters, like I'm glad you brought that up because I know what they are, but the audience didn't. So I'm glad the way that you did it. But are you saying they should just fire the flat?
No, I'm not saying that at all. Yeah. I'm just saying that it's like anything else where a sketch, like in the comic book industry, obviously there was a point in time where everybody did everything by pencil.
Yeah.
And somebody then inked it, and then someone colored it, and it got put forward into, pushed forward through the printing process. And, obviously there's rare occasions where somebody does all those things on their own. But all I'm saying is, comics is a collaborative process. And we all know, like, we've seen what sketch art looks like versus digital art. And they're different. And there's a, like what the point that Oz is bringing up was that I feel like he's like, I would like to see the original sketch art because I feel like there might be a difference between that and what we actually see in the final product. And what I'm saying is I brought the flatters up because I do feel like that is a big that is a valid concern in this particular instance, which not every book has a flatter, but that's not because there's anything wrong with flatters or like flatters ruin comics or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is a lot of people work digitally. And so when you have a digital artist, you don't need a flatter because the person is working digitally. So there's no conversion necessarily necessary between or at least in my understanding. And by no means, like, I'm not a comic book creator, so I don't know, and I'm not an artist, so I don't know. But my understanding is, if you're a digital artist, what you end up sending forward to, whether that be the inker or the colorist, doesn't need a flatter, because you have a digital, like, you as a digital artist understand, or very well may, like, put things forward in such a way where that makes that person unnecessary. I could be wrong about that, and I'm open to admitting that. But what I do know is, if you're a sketch artist and you're like, okay, I drew this, and now I'm moving this forward in the process for, like, the inker is going to do some stuff to the sketch art. And because you have, like, an inker and the artist doing this on sketches, you need a flatter that can do, like, basically help with some of the color values, and basically helping them to understand where some aspects need to be colored. And it's actually more about, I think, the idea that, if I'm not mistaken, you have to, like, make it so that certain elements can have a total base color put over them, and then the colorist can take that element and then add other colors on top of it. And so, again, I'm not a creator, so I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not trying to speak on this with, like, any kind of authority, like, oh, this is exactly what it is. But my understanding is that a flatter helps make it easier for a digital colorist to color some things in a particular way, and that very well may affect the art from a sketch perspective.
You're actually very, like, dead on as far as the use of flatterers in 2020. A lot of traditional artists are just doing it digital because
Right.
it's easier now. You
Right.
get a pen and it's like drawing on paper, and
It's better than drawing on paper.
the most recent example.
Or I'm sorry, when I say better, I mean that in the sense that it's easier, not that it's, because I personally, sketch art is amazing to me and I prefer it, but I understand it's easier for artists to draw digitally. Continue.
I will say this as someone who considers himself an artist. I hate digital only art. I hate it. It's a bane to me, and I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't a thing, but it is, and it's something I have to live with now. And like, as a recent example, and I talked about this a little bit last week when I mentioned Mirka Andolfo, which I respect a lot as an artist. This woman is amazing. Whatever book she makes,
And that's
Mercy,
Oz usually doesn't refer to women as amazing.
it's a rarity, so that should tell you how amazing she is. I think her big book right now is Mercy, but in last week I mentioned she's doing the Punchline book. And that book she completely did digital, and I have it. I actually bought 2 copies because I bought a blank cover. And if you actually when you actually look through it, it doesn't feel like it was done digitally. Like it looks like it was actually sketched traditionally. And had she not posted about how the whole book was done digitally, except for like 4 or 5 pages, which she actually sketched out on paper to basically sell on her website, and they went almost as fast as a PlayStation 5. Is how quickly her art goes.
No, I believe it.
What was I saying? Point is, I'm not a big fan of digital only, but we're at that point where you can sketch something digitally, and it's not that different for sketching it on a piece of paper.
No, I would agree with that. And also, too, just like, I mean, I think it's just more about making changes and things like that, where, there's a part of it where it's like, it's like the difference between typing something on a typewriter and doing it in Word.
Now, but here's my question. Here's where I really want to get with some of these professional artists and really see the difference is when you go from the pencils to the ink, because I've always felt that the inking process of a pencil sketch, you lose some detail. You just have to, because you can't do as much as you can't get every line in ink. Yeah, you can't put every line in ink. And then once you add the color on top of that and the color shading, I feel like it loses something. And I collect a lot of original pencils and compare them to the actual published final inked and colored, and I can see the differences. I really would like to see the differences between an original. I'm used to calling it the pencil dart, but if it's all digital, that's kind of a weird gray area. I'd like to see like Mirka's original drawing, and then I want to see it every step of the way so I can see what was lost, or if maybe you don't lose as much when you go digital. That's completely possible. That's I wanna know more about. And I think that in a book like this one, The Wailing Blade, I can see a lot of lines that I think would have been lost traditionally, but I think this book was done digitally too. So I'd like to see a lot of the original ones. That's why I like pages like the ones we put up earlier of the original concepts and kind of seeing where the artist was taking it. But at the same time, those weren't the final product. Those were just kind of like stuff off the top of his head.
Concept stuff.
Yeah.
What you say, Mo? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Oz.
No, it's pretty much. It's interesting that personally, I don't know how many people care as much as I do. I care a lot about it. So to me, it's a big deal. I don't know if our audience agrees with me. It's just something that I would like to see, from step one to the finished product.
Yeah. What you say, Mo? Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. You got something to add? Go for it.
He's the Scrabble too.
What?
Go ahead, Mo.
No, I said because every time that he's trying to go to me and then decides to go to Oz scrambles, and it's like you should just let me go. And then now I was gonna go, and then he says, "Go," like he's gonna scramble too. Yeah,
I agree with
you. I'm not scrambling.
Yeah, I know. You got good internet. Like Oz over here buying art and shit, and he can't get good internet.
It's not his fault. He lives in the Midwest.
Until next year, Elon Musk promised me Starlink. So
yeah, well,
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't matter.
What Starlink is?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'll tell you about it later.
Oz, read Satellite Sam. That's all I gotta say. Just read Satellite Sam. Your last 45 minutes of complaint with art, just read Satellite Sam. Larry, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do know what you're talking about.
It's like it's digital. It's all done in pencil, and it turns out if you just scan your pencils in, you just up the contrast, and you got inks.
Yeah. No, it's like it's definitely not about. It's not about inkers in general. It's like it's about who your inker is, in my opinion, and also to like Mo said, like you could totally sketch something with pencil and scan it into something digitally, and it could turn out amazing. So, but anyway, Jay, what were you gonna say?
Well, I wasn't done yet.
I was gonna ask what we're all rating.
Say what?
I was gonna ask what we're all rating this.
Oh, we will get there. Moses, go.
Are you sure?
Oh, now he's scrambling. Now who's scrambling?
I literally said Moses, go. Like what?
Another. I lost. There's another one. You cut my train of thought, man. Here's the deal.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Shut up. But yeah, in terms of inks, you had that Liefeld book that he wrote with Kirkman, and you talk about the pencils and inks and where it could go wrong, but then that inker did all the work for Liefeld. Liefeld's pencils were just layouts, so it's a double-edged wailing blade. It's a double-edged wailing blade. Is really what it is.
Double-edged wailing blade. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. For every Satellite Sam, you get whatever the fuck that Robert Kirkman Liefeld thing was. I don't remember the name. You know, they couldn't even finish it because the credit was all wrong. Like the inker was the actual artist because the pencils were just layouts. So that puts that argument to that. As far as rating it, I would give this a 4 out of 5. I see the shortcomings that we all had. I had them too, but I wasn't as critical about them. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the experience at all, and I'm gonna read the rest of it.
There you go. Oz, what would you rate Wailing Blade?
Easily 4. Like I said earlier, the art, not decent art, and the fact that I can't predict what's gonna happen makes me want to read more.
Got it. Jay, what would you read Wailing Blade? What would you rate? I'm sorry, what would you rate?
Give it a 3. Like overall, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the creator's passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I'm sure if I keep reading it, the art will grow on me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I would give it a 3.
Let me ask you this real quick, Jay. Like, how intent do you feel? Like what? Like, or if you, for instance, this might be a second rating, but how interested are you in reading issue 2? Like out of 5.
Right. I will say 3. Like
kind of take it or leave it.
More on the like. It's one of those things where I would have to get around to it. Like,
gotcha.
I'll put it this way: during the show, I went to Comixology to check out to see if the first issue was free on there, and it's not. And I was seriously considering putting it in my wish list.
Got it. Okay.
So
that's what I need to know. That's the info I need. Thank you, Jay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Oz.
Okay. I've got to look it up to get the exact price, but I think issue 2 and 3 are $4.99 each. Does that make a difference?
No,
not so much. It's an independent comic book. I will say, for personally, like I would give Wailing Blade #1 a 3.5. I think a lot of that is just because we did like Hellboy and the BPRD 7 Wives Club like last week, and it's like it's such a good book that it's unfortunate that this book came after it, because I feel like if we didn't do that book last week, I'd probably give this a 4. But like it's just it because that's what we did last week, and that's like what's fresh in my mind of after like what we were reading. It makes me a little bit more critical of this book, but I like this book, and I'll definitely read issue 2. Like I'm gonna figure out how I can read issue 2 next.
That panel in that Hellboy and the BPRD where the ghost says stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I opened up my iPad today and it was right at that page. I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. I want to tattoo it across my back.
Hey, right, and it's literally a thing where it's like a top tier, like a writer that's been writing a particular character for so long that it's effortless, and an artist who's been a top tier artist for so long that it's effortless, coming together to do like a cool story. And that's the thing, is like it's not even like that the 7 Wives Club is necessarily a story that's like, it's not a mind-blowing story. It's the execution of the story that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, click on the link for the last week's episode if you want to get that review.
Right. And so all like it's literally a thing where I feel like a week from now, if we did Wailing Blade, or 2 weeks from now if we did Wailing Blade, I'd feel a completely different way about it. And not to say that it's like, oh, this is like, because again, I don't dislike this book. I like it enough that I want to read issue 2. Like I'm gonna actively seek out issue 2 because I want to know what's gonna happen next. But it's just one of these things where it's like between like the character design and the layout of the book itself, like it's so crazy because that was a big thing for me. I think the layout in this book feels very lazy in comparison to what we did last week, and that's not like it. Like comparing the person, I can't remember the guy's name that did. Oh wait, hold on. I might like. I think the artist is Oh, I'll look at. The art is Joe Mulvey. Joe Mulvey is the artist.
That's
Joe Mulvey,
artist.
huh?
That's the artist for Wailing Blade.
Right. Joe
Okay.
Mulvey probably by no means thinks of himself as an Adam Hughes. You know, and it might be unfair to Joe Mulvey because I don't recognize the name off the top. I don't know how much work Joe Mulvey has done. It's unfair, I'm certain, to compare Joe Mulvey to Adam Hughes. But because that's the last book we reviewed, that's like my bar for the moment. And I feel bad for Joe Mulvey because that's probably an unfair comparison. And that is affecting my rating. You know, where I'm just like, yeah, Joe Mulvey, you're not doing what Adam Hughes did last week. And I'm sure Joe Mulvey's like, well, yeah, like I don't ever feel like I'm doing what Adam Hughes was doing last week, you know? So,
in all fairness, Joe Mulvey, like Fantastic Four, you're not doing what iFanboy did 5 years ago.
So I put up a John Mulvey cover that he did for Spencer and Locke.
What's Spencer and Locke?
I don't know, but I like it.
I really like this cover.
It's okay.
It's very spoilery.
What? Why?
I'll give you that.
Oh, you mean like spoiler the character? I'm sorry. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Spoiled? Yeah. No, but I hear you. I hear. Look, I didn't understand what you were saying at first, but you're right. Yeah, it does have a spoiler
You hate
vibe.
comics.
Listen, I got it without you telling me what we're talking about.
Yeah, eventually.
It took me an extra second because spoilers not important to me.
An extra second on YouTube is an eternity.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
It's like dead air in radio.
You take whatever it is I give you, YouTube. But yeah,
save that for the Patreon.
But yeah, man. So like, I feel bad because I'm not mad at Joe Mulvey for not being Adam Hughes because when you really think about it, it's like there's only so many people that are Adam Hughes.
Yeah, it's just him and Terry Dodson.
I love that, Moses. I love you for saying that.
Of course you do.
So, but you're right. It is like it's a small group of people, and so you know, it's like for all I know, Joe Mulvey might be the next Adam Hughes, and he just is not there yet because he needs the experience. You know, like Adam Hughes probably has to think about a lot less of what's happening panel to panel, and is like, oh, let me have some fun with this. Joe Mulvey's like, man, can I just make sure that I draw this guy like the last guy? And he very well might be contending with the designs from somebody else. Like, it's not like, you know, Joe Mulvey isn't necessarily the co-creator of this book. So he's like, let me just draw the guy like how the guy that designed these characters drew the guy.
I like Joe Mulvey's dog.
So, you know, it's not like a thing where I'm like, oh, Joe Mulvey's a terrible artist, because he's not. He drew every page of this. There was no page in this book that I looked at and was like, why does it look like that? You know, even with the Wailing Blade. The Wailing Blade is a great, well, okay, maybe great's not the right word. I love the design of the Wailing Blade, like the actual sword itself. It's weird from a functional perspective, but it's weird from a functional perspective, maybe like in the same way where it's like, Doku's lightsabers are weird if you don't understand what's happening.
Or Final Fantasy like Cloud's
Right.
sword or Berserk. Like
Yeah.
everything you love has a dysfunctional blade in it.
Right. And that's the thing where it's like the design, like, the design, they wanted to make sure that the blade was distinctive. And guess what? Mission accomplished. The blade is distinctive. Like, there is no way, like, it's the first time I've ever seen the Wailing Blade. And guess what? The next time I see it, I will be like, oh, that's the Wailing Blade. Now, does that mean that I look at it and be like, oh, I understand how that functions? Not necessarily. And it's one of these things where if they're like, oh, well, we want to make sure that the Wailing Blade is made into something in mass media, like a television show or a movie. I don't know if the Wailing Blade design is going to survive that transition. It may or may not. I don't know. But it looks cool in a comic.
Again,
I agree with Oz.
No, Oz, you've become Max Hedron again.
I agree with Oz.
Moses cosigns your digital.
To reiterate, I don't love.
I don't. What were you trying to say, Oz? Say it again real quick. No. Okay, yeah, you should just stick with it. You're right. From a functional perspective, I'm not sure the Wailing Blade makes it into like, the live action circuit. It very well may, it may not. I don't know, but I feel like if you don't what I'll say is this: people that use swords in real life, as far as like, not on a day-to-day basis, obviously, but that like know anything about sword fighting probably would hate this. And that's okay, because it's fantasy. It's sci fantasy, right? So it doesn't have to be real. But like, I'm not a person that's like, I don't know how to use a sword, but I can look at that sword and be like, yeah, I don't know if you can actually use that in a real way, like in a functional way, because the even just the way that the handle, like the angle on the handle versus the blade itself is weird.
I think
it's so cool.
It's definitely cool. I'm not saying it's not cool.
And honestly, like when you're getting comics, like you just want it to look cool. Like,
right, and guess what? Wailing Blade does that, and that's all I'm saying is the Wailing Blade looks cool as hell.
Like Watchmen is the only thing that ever made the superhero costumes look like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this wouldn't work. Which I think it sucked for the Watchmen movie when they made Owlman look all cool. Because that was part of the whole thing for me. It was like, yeah, it just doesn't look that cool.
I think if it's made out of futuristic metals that would reduce the weight, I think it's very usable.
I'm not even talking about the weight. I'm talking about angles.
Design, yeah. No,
yeah, like literally, I mean, the handle seems strange in regard, like again, it's like Doku's lightsaber.
Oz, there's a reason why the machete hasn't been changed in like 1,000 years.
Right, exactly. Like there's a certain amount of functionality to a friggin' handle and a pommel and that's it.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about this, it's kind of like, oh, like why does it's a weird angle that looks cool, but I'm not sure. Like it, even in the book itself, it's kind of like I was reading the book and I'm just like, okay, I guess that works. I mean, I don't know what the blade is made out of anyway, right? Like the blade might have some, like I'm assuming the blade itself has some sort of sonic properties to it because it wails. And like the edge of it might like literally be like some sort of like sonic thing. I don't know. But it's hard because it's like the handle's like here and then the blade is like off this way.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
into final thoughts.
yeah, we should do that. Anybody got any objections? Anybody got anything else they want to say about Wailing Blade before we go to final thoughts?
No,
All right.
all I gotta say is go to fantasticforum.live. You'll get the free issue. Decide for yourself. We talked a lot about it. We tried to do a 2-hour show. We're pushing on 245. 45 of that was this. So there's definitely like difference of opinions, and we want to hear yours. So
yeah, we do.
Get the free issue. Let Comics Tribe know that you heard it from us. Maybe they'll give you the other ones. And hit the like, subscribe, and all that shit.
All right, let's get out of here. Jay, give us some final thoughts, buddy.
I just want to apologize to everyone. I forgot our kickers. It might happen again, in which case I'll apologize again.
Apology unaccepted.
You forgot our what?
No. Hey, tickers. Don't get your mind all crazy. Tickers. The things at the bottom of the screen had all these topics.
The Chiron.
Right. Even though I think technically the Chirons are what our names are. I think our names are Chirons, and I think the bottom is a ticker.
Look, we're not going to do another 45 minutes of this shit. So.
Oscore, final thoughts.
Punchline number 1, with Mirka Andolfo drawing it. And as much as a fan of Mirka Andolfo that I am, I do not like her on this book, but I'm still recommending it, which should say something.
Okay, there you go. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
I didn't get to Heavy Metal Minute. It is on YouTube already, so if you want to hear it, it's there. If we did get to our review of Department of Truth, it would have made a lot more sense. But enjoy it anyway. I had the barbershop closed, and I used that as my backdrop. So it's kind of fun, kind of cool. I tried to go neo-noir with it. But, hit the like, subscribe, and get all that shit.
Indeed. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate all the support. Please, please, please make sure that you go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that kind of stuff. Or if you're not on YouTube, just, like our stuff, subscribe or whatnot. Let us know what you do want to see, what you don't want to see, so that we can make sure that we're providing you the content that you actually want to watch and want to listen to. So this is Fantastic Forum. We'll be back next week. We appreciate you. See you then.
Heck, and chat says thank you.